Welcome, everybody, to the Politipod. I'm your host, Sam Hunter. With me, as always, is my co-host, Casey Dennison. Today, we're having a very special stream for Men's Health Awareness Month and Day. Joining me today is AGluck, the Unapologetic Leaf, and Revenge of the Cis. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome all to you.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.
Hey guys.
Hello.
What's going on, guys?
Well, this is a good way to start off mental health, or not mental health, but men's health awareness. You have to forgive me, I do a lot of mental health stuff. But men's health awareness is a very serious issue. We actually just lost somebody yesterday, Dark Art 69, if anybody knew him. I think you've seen him around in the chat before. He's also been on the channel, and I've been around talking to him a lot too. But he actually just passed away yesterday, so I do want to go ahead and just have just a moment of silence here for about a minute. So we're just going to go ahead and do that right now. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here, guys. We're talking men's health awareness today. So, Leaf, you go ahead and you start your spiel.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to. Sorry, I'm retarded. What I want to do is try to raise money for men's shelters in Canada and the U.S. There's not many. The links will be posted pages, and we will be also discussing the fact that there's not a lot of other programs available to with their mental health pod. Retarded.
What's up?
Did I pull a Ricky from
I
Trailer
said I'm
Park Boys right now?
distracted and retarded.
I'm retarded.
I'm retarded because I'm trying to share this link out to the Twitter to try to fucking get more people to watch, but things aren't working.
Here, I'll send you the YouTube link.
Thank you.
So everybody, we got 3 links right now below. I'm going to add a 4th one in. So the first link that you'll see down there is PTSD awareness for vets. Now that is mental health. Most veterans are actually men, so I thought that might go a little bit into this. So as always, Mission 22 is going to be the one that we're donating to for veterans. That goes towards counseling for people with PTSD, as well as any other type of traumatic brain injury or something like that. It goes to counseling, goes to prevention of suicide, and also goes to building other shelters and stuff like that for the vets to come in and talk to each other and stuff like that. Next one is the Manitoba Men's Health Center. That is actually in Canada. So Leaf shot.
I'll explain what that does before you go on. The Manitoba Men's Health Center, what it does is it helps men get jobs if they need it. It helps men who are struggling with drug addictions, helps men who have been sexually abused, and it also helps men who are in a domestic an abusive relationship, I should say. So it's a very good program. They offer a lot of aid. It's for you can start using their services from the age of 16 from there.
And then the third one that we have here is the Movember Foundation. So they're actually the ones who did the No Shave November stuff. They started it out. They're actually one of the only charities that's tackling men's health on a global scale. So they do global health awareness for all men. They just basically provide shelters and stuff like that as well. They usually their stuff is more like to do with they do mental health, they do cancer, awareness and screenings for that as well. So it's a good all-around charity. And then the fourth one we have, let me check this one out. It was the Men's Shelter of Charlotte. So that is in Charlotte, North Carolina. We just decided that we needed to donate to at least some type of a men's shelter. So Charlotte was the first choice for us. So we decided to go ahead and get on with that one.
Yeah,
There's a very small amount of men's shelter across the world. There's not a lot.
Yeah, I could tell you.
It's a shame too.
It's
Go ahead, Mike.
really hard to find ones to donate to when there's such a fucking small amount in both Canada and the US. So
yeah, I think the US now has 2. Sorry.
That's all good. It's the hangout thing. It's a little delay. That's all. Go ahead, Mike. What were you gonna say?
No, I was going to say I've lived in North Carolina. I've spent a lot of time in Charlotte, and they could use the shelter. Just going to put that out there. It's not there's a large homeless population there.
Yeah, it's something that you don't really realize with Charlotte. It's that they actually have a very large population of people who are homeless. It's a nice city, but they got a lot of problems there. But your donations. Go ahead.
Wherever it's warm. I mean, we're in Florida too, and we have it makes sense. I mean, better being homeless in North Carolina or Florida than Maine.
Yeah, exactly. In California, I'm in California. We have homeless people all over the place, and it's predominantly men. You catch the occasional female or woman, but it's huge populace along the coast here in California of homeless men.
It definitely is. No, it's a huge issue that many people don't talk about. I'm glad that I've been hearing a lot more on the issues here recently. I think it's a good step forward, but we need to go a little bit further with it. We need to start making more men's shelters everywhere. Aside from that, you also need to, help men, get checked out for stuff like cancer, get checked out for stuff like mental health. It's very important that they do so in order to live a happy and full life and, make changes in the world,
Yeah, I suffer from anxiety and depression like my whole life. And it does, it's something that, and it sounds weird, but they always tell, it's always like, man up, get through it. And it's like, yeah, I get it. But when your brain is screaming at you, like, why are you even trying? It's not easy. And it does help to not be afraid and actually go, you know what, let me go get checked out. Let me make sure that I'm okay,
I want to give a shout out to all the precious boys today that have came to me and told me that my tweet inspired them to go to support groups and to come out as having issues with gender dysphoria, stuff like that. I think it took a lot of courage to do that, and I'm so proud of you guys for taking the step to get help and to tell people about the mental health issues you're facing.
And that man who reached out was Bruce Jenner.
Totally. But no, I'm getting so many nice messages from guys that are like, yeah, I'm gonna get help. I need to get my shit together. Thank you for your tweet. I'm just it made me so happy. And all the other tweets people have been making in support, because we all know there's a certain group of people trying to hijack this day. But all the ones that have been supportive of men, I really appreciate those tweets too.
What about those of us that chose to just continue to listen to the gurgling death rattle of the voices in our head as we drown them in alcohol? What about us? Huh? Leaf, are we you, huh?
I think you should look into some mental health services if that's the case.
Oh, great! Then our show will suck. Thanks.
Okay, I'm sending the link, by the way, to Nick Monroe. I don't know if you know who that is, Pod. He will be joining.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, I think
he's a good guy. Yeah, go ahead and send him a link.
So I was talking to some local friends, and they have been working on actually developing something like a men's shelter specifically focusing on men out here in California, and it's interesting because they get weird looks when they're trying to get people to back and stuff, as if men are incapable of, being abused domestically. And, we're an extremely left state, and it's like, why would you have those kind of looks and assume that people aren't capable of being abused by their female spouse,
Can we just
Yeah, I
have
think
like
there's a lot
a
of
reminder
stigma.
of what happened to the first the man who ran the first men's shelter in Canada? The feminists decided to push for the government to stop funding, which they did, and he ended up committing suicide. So I think it's very important to have these shelters because of shit like that.
I feel bad because I was going to make a joke about how he was killed by a bear.
No,
Oh.
No, now I
Damn.
good job, Mike.
R.I.P. bro. R.I.P.
No, and the other thing is that's true. And then the way the system is set up is a little unfair. It's said if a woman comes at you with
Okay, that was really weird.
What was?
She got the boot by accident or something.
There we go.
She does that a lot. She doesn't have a very good connection.
up there and crisp and
But
wild.
anyway, what were you saying?
I was saying that the way the system is set up is kind of lopsided when it comes to that too, because a lot of men are afraid. Not even because it's not even like, oh, my wife is beating the shit out of me, but there is the aspect of like the way it's set up. If your wife comes at you with a frying pan and goes to hit you and you defend yourself, you're the one going to be the one in the back of a cop car. So a lot of guys like, I'm not going to call because all it takes is someone coming over and saying, yeah, but I slid and. It is like you said, and it's already lopsided to begin with, and that makes it harder for that. And also the general fear of like, you don't want to be good, you're a pussy, you're gonna call the cops.
I actually had this happen to me legitimately, and I just recently ordered a copy of the police report.
That's right.
That resulted in a domestic violence situation that I myself was involved in, and even in the police report, I was attacked by a woman who used to sleep with the woman I was with then.
Oh, sounds like a Jerry Springer thing.
Yeah. So it was a lesbian woman who assaulted me while I was dead asleep. And when I woke up, me and her struggled a little bit, but I couldn't really beat her up. And then my wife at the time woke up and handled it, and they started struggling. So she told me, there's no way you beat this woman up that you're going to look like a sympathetic person. So go in the bathroom. So I had to barricade myself in the bathroom. And to this day, I even got the police report just so we could read it jokingly on the air someday. But even the cops looked at me like I was a total pansy.
Jesus Christ.
It's a really awkward scenario to be in when a woman goes crazy and you're like, look, there's no, you're hitting me, but what do I do? You're a guy. So yeah, society's a little more like, oh, you locked yourself in the bathroom, pussy. And you're like, okay, let's just boil it down to that then.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration is that there's that 100% stigma of saying, you're a big, strong man and you should, that shouldn't have happened to you. Or what am I going to do? Attack her or defend myself and knock her to the ground? No, because then I'm in trouble 100% of the time,
Exactly.
I want to read a post that was posted on the Humans of New York page back in 2015, it's really actually is relevant to this conversation. So it is a young man telling a story, and I'm going to read it now. I went to pick up my daughter, and my baby's mother wouldn't let me in the house because her new boyfriend was over. I'm trying to get in the door. She's trying to keep me out, and she ends up on the ground. The police came and got me the next day. They had a picture of my baby's mother with a single cut on her forehead. My heart sank. My public defender was very nice. She said she believed me. Every time she interrogated my baby's mother, the story kept changing. First it was I pushed her, then it changed to I threw her into the wall, then it changed to I punched her in the face. But my lawyer said it was dangerous to go to trial. She said without a witness, the woman is going to have the advantage. She said if I lose at trial, I could go to jail for 7 years. I couldn't risk that, so I pled guilty in exchange for 3 months. I told the judge I didn't do it, but I'm pleading guilty. The judge said, if you're pleading guilty, you did it. I did the time, and now a few years later, I'm working a full-time job, and my baby's mother is on trial for robbing a store. But it's not like I can go back in time and wave that in the judge's face. Every time my daughter comes to visit, she starts crying and begs me not to send her back home. But they tell me because of the domestic violence charge, they'll put her in the foster system before giving her to me.
Jeez. And you know, and they keep telling us that we need some sort of moral compass, because this is the problem. You know, the problem is when everything is a byproduct of just enjoyment or how much fun you could have, you know, kids become a commodity, and that's really sad. And I know exactly what that's like. I mean, you know, look at people, men and women get divorced. Let's be honest, 99% of the time, even if the woman did nothing and if she was wrong, she's going to get half the dude's stuff. And it's, you know, that's the stuff that they don't talk about when they make all these, you know, like, oh, you know, feminism and wage gap. All right, cool. Men die 90% more in jobs than women do. We don't talk about that gap. And it's like, you know, it does matter. You know, it's you can't just push men aside. I think that feminism has turned into a big game of payback instead of what it used to be in the 60s.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, if you look at the biggest killer of men under 45 is suicide. So
I was going to
say that again.
I was going to guess women.
Well, it's the same thing.
Well, I mean, but I mean, you know, like stress and everything else, and you know, as much as people don't want to say, you know, it's a stigma that has to be lived with, and they don't, and modern day feminist or third wave, whatever the hell you want to call them, they don't give a shit.
Well, the issue is that they're not, even those that do give a shit, they're not really equipped to deal with it. That's the issue. The rare people that actually care about and that consider themselves feminists aren't really equipped to deal with a lot of men's issues. Just they can't relate. They can't.
I do want to
exactly.
Well, I was gonna welcome Nick Monroe in here, but I guess he left for a second, so he'll be back in a moment, I guess. So that's no, like these stories are very harrowing, and I think it speaks a lot, especially like my first introduction into what feminism was as a 13-year-old boy. I was looking around Reddit, and there came to me a post. Actually, I'm not sure if I was 13. I might have been a little bit older. But I saw a post that had been posted on there, and it was an issue where a bunch of feminists down in South America had been running around, and basically it was a group of guys. They were all circled around a church because the feminists were trying to like burn down the church or whatever, something crazy like that. They were trying to either burn it down or like paint it red or something stupid. Like they were doing a protest on them, and the men locked arms, and the women were going up to them, sexually assaulting them, sexually harassing them, beating them, throwing rocks at them, you know, stuff like that. And you don't see the police stepping in. The men were just locked arms. They never even fought back. They were just getting beaten. There was one guy who got bloodied. He got bludgeoned with a rock on his head, just stood there. He fell over because he had passed out from, not blood loss. I think he had like a concussion or something. They took him into the back, and then another guy stepped up and locked arms with the other ones. And like these feminists were like topless. They were running up to him, like shoving their, you know, breasts in their face and stuff like that. It was completely, you know, awful. And I don't think anyone on, you know, I don't think anyone was punished for it from what I read about it, but it was absolutely atrocious. And, you know, I think right there speaks to the amount of little care that people have for men's issues, especially nowadays.
Well, I always say it's all about the action rather than the gender of the person committing the action. You start with the action and then you go backwards. You could talk about gender, but if you start with the action someone does and take the conversation from that, it becomes much easier.
No, yeah, I mean that's a good point. I mean, we should, you know, isn't that what the goal of feminism is, for every action to be equal, for everything to be equal? And that means, you know, you don't play favoritism, and that's right. It should be, you know, assault is assault. It doesn't matter what your genitals are. I mean, it shouldn't affect
right.
that. Yeah.
Also, yeah, sorry for dropping in. I'm Nick Monroe, and I hang out on the Twitters. I'm writing something right now for the first time in months. It'll be out soon. That's my shilling.
There you go. And
Got that out.
Pod, by the way, Bunty said he's gonna be heading home and he'll jump into the streams too.
Cool. So what are we talking
Yeah,
about?
I think it's one of those things. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what we're talking about. Sorry for wandering in.
Anything you want? If you want, you got a story, you got anything you want to share, you can go ahead and share it. Just just let her. It's just the focus is men's health. So
Yeah.
Cool.
So share whatever story you want to share.
Trying to
crap. You and I talked at the same time. You go.
You're good, brother. Go for it. You haven't. I've been talking enough. You're good. Go.
I just wanted to say how thoughtful the tweet was that Unapologetic Leaf put out today. That's the only reason I'm here. I mean, that just warmed my damn heart.
Aw.
It was nice. So I feel like it's the least I can do is come in and occupy the stream with my self space and see where it goes.
mm-hmm. They
I do hope we
so I
can
got
raise
somebody in the chat. King of Logic said that you need to take your sunglasses off indoors, Nick.
Fine.
there you go. It's better. Fine. Look, it's the same thing. Mike used to wear, my co-host who just stepped out for a second, used to wear glasses too because he has a lazy eye. And it's like, look, just deal with the lazy eye. It's way easier than someone calling you a douchebag inside with sunglasses. So.
Well, no, I only wear them like as a tendency because my webcam mic is really high up and like I'm looking down here, up here, down there. So I just want to create the illusion of unity. You know what I mean?
I get it. OCD. I hear you.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I feel you. But yeah, I mean, and I think going back to what we were talking about, I think that the only way for it to get better is to recognize. All right, we can't cherry pick on what we want equality on. We have to make sure that everyone that needs help gets help because like you said, suicide kills men at a much higher rate than it does women, and especially now around the holidays. That's when they're the highest, and it's we can't have a system that is set up to completely bury part of the half of the population.
Orange guy, you keep booping.
I keep
What's
booping.
that booping? Yeah, you have this booping noise, and in Google Hangouts wants
It's probably my my
You have a
clicker
fan?
here, my mouse. Yeah, it's probably what it is. Yeah, it's my mouse. I'll just mute.
Can I just say that a lot of people are always screeching about how violent men are, but when you actually look it up, there was actually a Harvard study on this. In 70% of non-reciprocal domestic violence cases, men were the victims. And let's also not forget that in lesbian relationships, there's more domestic violence than in gay or heterosexual relationships. So it really makes you think when people are like, "Oh, men are violent as fuck. Men are monsters." Like, okay.
Well, I think that's all about the the balance of like men don't have to act as masculine. I mean, like gay men don't have to act as manly around each other because there's no point. And women have that vacuum, so both of them are trying to compensate.
But I don't know, man. Like women are also more likely to kill or abuse their children. So, like when people are constantly screeching about how men are super violent, and you're looking at actual statistics like non-reciprocal domestic violence cases and domestic violence within heterosexual, gay, and lesbian relationships, and violence when it comes to children, and like it's just. I don't know, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, like, all women are fucking evil psychopaths, but, like, I think it's time to stop acting like men are the most violent sex, because I just don't think that's the case based on the statistics I've seen.
Well, yeah, but...
Well, you gotta look at... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Nick.
Fuck! I keep doing this! No, you go, man. I'm good. I lost my... Yeah, I lost
aside from looking at... Yes, sorry about that. Aside from looking at the statistics, though, like you can just look. Like let's take a look at who have violent outbursts in public more on video, who are the ones that have been, and I don't know if it's just that they're the only ones that get caught on camera, or if it's just that we're seeing select amounts of them. But if we have statistics to back them up, then we compare them over here with the videos. I'll 100% agree. I think that women, aside from just physical violence, I think, screaming at somebody else just because they disagree on an opinion, or screaming at someone because something happened to them. What's that? What? She said something and then she stopped talking. Oh yeah, no, like that was my whole point. It's just like I think women are a lot more violent, physically violent, mentally abusive, and verbally abusive as well.
There's a reason the whole nuclear family idea works. I mean, it's basically that balance of, a husband, wife, and 2 kids. You give the kids a father figure, a mother figure, and everything works out fine. They grow up to be normal.
Well, I mean, and also,
and that's.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you first.
Well, also, I mean, look what they're doing now. Just they're making being a man. I mean, specifically white man, but a man in general as a bad term. It's bad. It's mansplaining. Just because you explain something to a woman, it's mansplaining, and it's turning. Making it seem like this quote unquote, which I hate this word, but that toxic masculinity, which isn't a real thing, by the way. It's just called being a man. Toxic masculinity is a bad thing, and that a man being a man and taking care, like you said, of his wife and his children and protecting the tribe, they've turned it into a bad thing. It's like, well, if I want to be a single mother and have 50 babies, all right, well, that's great, but then don't complain. You know what I mean? And by the way, I came up with the term, the opposite of mansplaining. When a woman ever tries to tell me something, I call it she-laborating. So don't let them she-laborate, right?
Well, to that point, you were talking about the nuclear family, and I pulled it up on screen. Men's to Boys, or Boys to Men mentoring is a pretty cool program meant for young single mother kids. So they it's kind of like Boys and Girls Club, but focused on the boys side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they when they don't have that parental male in their life, they have some sort of role model, someone in their 20s or 30s who's there, to them in things that their, mother may not be able to. So I found this program. They have it in Canada and the States, and they're a really cool program, as an alternative to, Boys and Girls Club.
Well, Boys Club, remember the boys, the Boy Scouts is now also accepting girls because they're trying to take anything away from,
That is so fucking stupid.
They're trying to
like I don't get why, instead of just being like, we need to join the Boy Scouts, why didn't they just implement what the Boy Scouts were doing into Girl Scouts if they wanted it that badly? Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Because it's just about astroturfing a male-only space. That's what it is.
Yep.
God damn.
Well, I don't know if that's the case because they want.
No, that is basically the case. I mean, that's
because
plain and simple.
Well, to an extent, but they're what it is the boys side of it. They're the ones who opened it, so isn't opening it. So you're seeing some weird kind of sexist situations there because Girl Scouts is saying no, we can't have little girls out on camping trips with males and other things. So I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's what, in my opinion, they're trying to, and the way I see it, at least in my opinion, it feels like a game of cosmic. They feel there's some sort of cosmic karma. They think that, mostly leftist, but feminism and stuff. They think that it's like, well, you had the run of it so long. I mean, yeah, I guess, but the truth of it is that's because maybe this system works. Maybe it's because people are better suited. Maybe that's why men go into higher danger careers and women go into things that aren't. We're different, and we should embrace things that make us different. But it shouldn't be sectioned off as, oh, you have a penis, so you don't know, so you're just trying to hold the woman down. Never in my life have I ever tried to hold anybody down, be it male or female. The truth of the matter is some people are jerks and some people are nice. It doesn't matter what genitals they like in their mouth or in their pants.
Yeah, and it's that same sort of mentality that goes into things like nationalism. If you like borders, shame on you, motherfucker. You got to be a globalist, man, or else you're an asshole. apparently.
Yeah, I think a lot of middle ground is gone. I think the gray area is starting to disappear. It's just it's becoming very black and white, and everything's become militarized. But I mean, on the upside, I think the downside is that the downside of all this social media is that small minorities of people get a way bigger voice than would have normally been possible. That's a good thing and a bad thing, because in many ways, if you just look at social media, you go, oh my God, all women are crazy and nuts and hate men and want to grow their armpit hair out. But that's not true. The day-to-day person isn't like that. But it says a lot that that's what's considered, beautiful or brave now.
Stunning and brave, mind you.
Stunning and brave. You're right. It's like, oh, I have 5 kids out of wedlock, and I don't need no man, and I'm on welfare. You're not brave. You're a leech. Like, stop it.
Can we talk about the men going their own way, the more extreme ones that like to try to like alienate?
I don't want that either.
Okay,
I can talk about the alternative. You can be at BuzzFeed and have your testosterone dangerously low for some reason.
Hilarious.
True, but what I'm talking about is these.
I'm sorry.
These men going their own way, dudes. That like when. Like it happened to me today, but like when women try to show their support, and it probably happened to a lot of other women coming forward to actually show their support on Twitter and Facebook and whatnot, they'd like to try to alienate women and be like, oh, we don't need your support, blah 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 blah. Like it was like okay, chill out, dude.
It's a very leftist tactic. That's like
the tweet.
Modern feminists now,
It's
kind of sitting there like okay, and then the funny thing is when you're like, okay, well, why are you being an asshole? They're like, oh, so you think all men are assholes now? Your true colors are showing.
Let me answer your question. Yeah, all guys have the potential to be an asshole. I'm a guy. I can be an asshole. I think that's part of our DNA. But but the other thing is that, by the way, what you mentioned, what the try guys at BuzzFeed need to try is hormone replacement therapy, because they're basically Asian women. And no, it's
damn son.
No, it is. I'm sick of people men that are barely men pretending like they're allies to people. To ally. That's another word. I'm an ally. Shut the fuck up. You're not a country. This isn't war. You're a beta male who's wearing an extra small from Hollister. Why don't you leave everybody alone? If you can't grow a beard, that's not our problem. But that's the only way people glob onto things. Is like you said, that and men going their own way. That's just dudes who can't get laid and they want a cooler way to be in a group. It's like, I can't get laid, but I'm men go my own way. No, dude, you just can't get laid, and that's fine. But do what I do when I was younger and couldn't get laid. Play video games or something, Like, stop it.
You need to take out your frustration somewhere. I've never it's like the angry MGTOW guy who was started getting all threatening, but I've seen nothing but hate from most MGTOWs. Like I have quite a few MGTOWs that watch me. They're great, fantastic people. But like the ones that I see that are like outspoken are just god awful when it comes to women. Just like angry MGTOW is like the perfect example of what most people think that MGTOWs are. It's some random fat guy who just comes out here and starts screaming and reeing about everything because no one's listening to him because he's retarded. So, I think there's a little bit of a stigma around MGTOW, and I think a lot of people think that MGTOWs, they're kind of MRAs as well. I think that's why MRAs are given such a bad name as well, okay? Because they're like grouped up into one group, it seems.
Honestly, though, like there are some that are genuinely just they don't want to be falsely accused of rape. And I get that. I do. It's fucking unfortunately happens a lot, especially certain women that carry around their mattress around school claiming they were raped when there's text messages that prove otherwise. But whatever, women.
Fuck me in the ass, Paul Nungesser, please. Oh, I was raped.
I'm pretty sure she made a porno too, and then said anybody who watched that porn was also raping her. So I mean,
yeah. She videotaped all of it. No, not only that, she videotaped it without the other person's consent.
Oh.
And I think she's actually in a legal battle with that guy now.
I think that the best way to shine a light on that men get mentally abused is just look at Laura Loomer. I mean, she was stalking people. She was literally stalking people. A guy had to run away because he was afraid of her, and she was bothering what's his face to go to deplorable for a year. It's like, yeah, women can be nuts too.
Oh my God, she harassed Paul Joseph Watson on Twitter. So
Yeah,
funny.
Paul Joseph Watson.
She harasses everyone, and I think there was a picture that came out yesterday of Joy Via, her, and
Red Pill Black.
what's the other Red Pill Black, and it's like I saw a message. Somebody said a Scientologist, a liar, and a fake conservative all walk into a bar, and I started laughing. It was hilarious. Like. Such funny shit, dude. Such funny shit.
You just said Red Pill Black's name. Now she'll immediately block all of us. That's how she works, by the way.
Well, here's the thing. I invited her onto the show to discuss the issues that people had with her, to tell her side of the story. And instead of coming to me directly and saying, "No, I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't want to do that." What she does is she's like, anytime anyone like says something positive to her about her to me, she just likes that person's tweet, and then she'll walk away and go somewhere else. And then she'll see somebody else made some type of tweet to me about how positive she is and how great she is because she's a black conservative. And she's like, she'll like the tweet and then not say anything to me. I'm like,
What?
No,
I
think it's hilarious.
She's a fucking piece of work, dude.
I can't
Well,
comment
not
on the
only her.
Laura Loomer situation, and I'm still looking into it, but I can't comment on it right now.
Honestly, she's hilarious for the simple fact that she has her own, troll account dedicated to her tire situation.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Better be careful.
Ezra Levine.
If you say her name too many times, she might try to sue you.
Yeah. If you
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, she's like
right?
Beetlejuice, dude. If you say her name 3 times, she sues you and then tries to stalk you as well.
Yeah, but you guys got
And gets mad when you kick her out of your Uber.
and you have a 20-minute head start because that's how long it takes her to put on the fucking pounds of makeup on her face. So she doesn't look like a fucking swamp thing.
I'm pretty sure she got lipo.
Liposuction is like
you know what's so funny about her? She gained infamy because it wasn't popularity. It was infamy because she fucking went to that Shakespeare in the Park shit to protest a play about a leader who gets killed, and then the people rally around him and then beat and kill the other side's army.
Do you know how many
who killed the person who's
I've
in charge,
spoken
which
to are like it's not an anti-assassination plague. What are they teaching you in school? Those are lies.
what bothered me with that. It was such a leftist tactic. It was that's what an SJW would do. We shouldn't be interrupting things. We can't be the fucking people of free speech is amazing and then go yell at some bunch of hipsters in a park. Just don't go to it. Like seriously, go watch
and Shakespeare in the Park isn't even about
she was
political
a
messages.
defender of free speech too. That's what really that's when I was like, what? Like
You guys are gonna make me talk
Literally,
about,
I don't know.
You guys are gonna make me talk
Yeah.
about Laura Loomer, and I can't talk about Laura Loomer. But she was in college. She got top marks before a Project Veritas involvement got her basically, shit canned from college, and that's when Project Veritas picked her up, and that's how she got into this neck of the woods. And you're right when you say the theater thing made her big, but she was around before that too, and I wouldn't underestimate what she could do to people. That's all I'm saying.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what she can't do. She can't make a guy go to a deplorable with her. That's what she can't do. And I'll tell you what
She can't make anyone sleep with her. I have proof of that.
Yeah, I know. So do I. I've seen the text messages. Like, she was literally stalking this dude where he had to go on YouTube and go, hey, yeah, Laura Loomer, just leave me the hell alone. Like, I had to run away. I'm like, yeah, if the dude was doing that, this goes back to, look at this, circle it back to the mental health. If a guy was doing that, what she was doing, he would have been arrested and restraining order so quickly, it would have made your head spin. But when it's a woman, oh, what are you going to do? She's not going to hurt you. She might. Have you seen her face? I'm not convinced she's not some sort of woodpecker in a wig.
I do encourage you
Woodpecker in a wig.
to make sure Gavin Wax's story isn't forgotten and that you have his back. That's for sure. Oh, and Laura, I mean, of course, Lauren Southern and Cassandra Fairbanks too.
Cassandra is so frustrated that she can't say anything about Loomer publicly. Like, I speak to her and on Twitter and DMs. She's like, fuck, I wish I could say something, but I can't.
No, she's Cassandra and Lauren are both very good people, and I think it's shitty because they're in a situation where like isn't Laura's suing both of them, right? Or is it just Cassandra?
I don't know.
I thought she was going after both of them from what I've heard. But
Anybody.
Lauren, I think, tweeted out that there's no lawyers that have been in contact with her, so I don't know. But
I don't know how long ago that was
Okay.
posted.
Yes. Aside from that, though, like they're also coming from a place where Ezra Levant was allegedly forcing them to,
There's
pay a bunch of money.
A video audio recording of him being a shady little snake.
Yeah, but he's not found. He's not found guilty in the court of law, so he's still not technically guilty.
Fuck! I swear to God. But I should actually send you that.
That's why I have to say allegedly, so I don't get sued by him.
We probably say the word allegedly more than any other word on the show because just to be safe, because everyone's very litigious, and whenever you're dealing with a certain demographic,
Ezra does.
My
like
opinions are my own, and anything I say is purely speculation. That should cover me, right?
Yeah, who knows, and who cares either. Hey, by the way, my opinions are everybody's. There you go. I'm gonna undo what you did. My opinions are everybody's, and anything you don't like, you should sue Leaf because she wrote the entire script for this. There you go. Problem.
But this is actually just a secret ploy by Leaf to signal to Cassandra Fairbanks that we're all going to rise up against Laura Loomer and Ezra Levant and take over the rebel media from them. It's a false flag, guys.
But
yeah. She's got more flat tires coming her way, right?
Yeah, and then,
goddamn right.
and then she had to, and this is just my opinion, I don't know if this actually happened, but I believe she gave a guy at a mechanic shop a handy J so that she could grab one of those fake things and go, hey, my tire blew out. No, you idiot. I've had a blown out tire. You didn't get stabbed. No one stabbed your tire. Stop looking for attention. And you always have to forget how old she's young. She's pretty young too. How old is she?
I keep forgetting she's
25.
A 25-year-old with a face of a 50-year-old.
24, actually. Sorry.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Her face looks like it was really bad CGI from the 90s.
She got an objectively speaking, she got a nose job.
Gee,
she's got a lot of work done.
You're kidding me. You had a nose job. You're shitting me.
Oh God.
Wow.
And also good people. Wait, get out of town. Come on, break the stereotypes at least. Jesus. I'm Cuban and I didn't float here on a door. At least I'm
Yeah, but I'm the white. There's a few white males in here, and we're super privileged. I got lots and lots of money.
I'm not just white. I'm whiter. I mean, look at me. Fuck. I'm like the color. Like if I was like a color code, I'd be 255, 255, 255. Isn't that like pure white?
Clear. Question mark. Clear.
Yeah.
I'm so white you can see through me or something. I don't know.
There you go.
Also, thanks, Dad, said Casey's mom.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
Guys, I gotta hop off. It was fun being on, though. I really appreciated you guys having me on.
Thanks for coming, man. Really appreciate it. Anytime you want to come on, just let me know.
See you guys. Revenge of the Sis. Follow us on YouTube. We're out of here. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
What a sweet guy. What a sweetheart. Also, very bald head.
I love.
Yeah, he's funny as shit.
They're both really funny dudes.
Let me tell you all what's really going on right now, because what you're all talking about is the old way that these feminists are thinking. After the Weinstein thing, they're waking up to the fact that they've been surrounded by these male allies. And part of the problem is the label male allies. The difference between ally and male ally is an ally is someone you have shit in common with, a cause. But a male ally is just someone that you buddy up with because they're a dude. And there's a huge difference in that, and I think they let their guard down.
Yeah, I've done quite a few videos myself on this with the male feminist thing going on right now, and how like big of an issue it is, and what it's seeming to become. It's becoming the Harvey Weinstein, where it's like you said, these betas who can't meet women any other way, so they decide to join their cause and jump into the women's cause so they can meet women. Well, and when it doesn't work, they get touchy.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed that it's usually beta males who do the raping, not the jock kid in school that everyone seems to think?
Well, going off my
I mean-
research. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, going off my research, there's this male feminist who worked at, I think it was Vice. They did an article series over on Vice's Broadly website, or sub-website, whatever it is, called The Male Feminist. And this male feminist, he was very physical with women, and he put cocaine in their, snatch when, he got bit, shagging them.
That's interesting.
Dude,
Is
what
this
the
a guy
fuck?
from Vice?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there's been a few accusations coming out of Vice recently.
That's
you
fucking
have a
crazy.
lot of people.
What's even crazier is the allegations of the Young Turks. That guy is interesting to me because he never denied that he did anything. He just said, "Oh, none of us were drunk." That's essentially what it came down to. It's like, wait a minute, how do you know that none of you were drunk? Do you guys know what I'm talking about, right? A guy over at the a guy over at the Young Turks just got accused of raping somebody. Like, not even sexual assault. Like,
Was it
full
just
on.
like a producer or who
No,
was it?
I mean, this was somebody that was on the show. This is one of their. I think he's.
Is
It
it
was
Sank
Chink.
Anger?
It's not Chink. It's not. It's not Chink. It's the guy that replaced Ruben.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! The fucking Oh, I know who you're talking about. Oh my god, what is his name?
The fat bearded neckbeard guy. I'm sorry, my dog is whining.
Jesus Christ!
Sounds like the dog's having sex with something.
Fucking the damn doll. He's humping that
No,
doll.
he's just really nervous all the time. My dog is got separation anxiety,
Oh, I
and
was
his
just gonna
brother's
ask.
upstairs.
Aw.
Oh, poor doggo.
Why the heck isn't the dog with the other dog?
Go down
Because the other dog's being an asshole and beating him up.
Aw. Wait,
Are you
but he
talking
is
about
separated anxiety?
you talking about Sam Sater?
No, I'm talking about he's a fat neckbeard. It's not Sam Cedar, but he has worked on the Sam Cedar show.
Ben Mankiewicz?
No, it's not Mankiewicz. I'll look him up because it's a big fucking deal, dude. Like it's H.A. Goodman made a video of him.
Jordan Sheraton.
Jordan Sheraton, huh?
Jordan Sheridan.
Is that his name?
Yeah, that's him. It's the Goonie neck. Is he a Goonie neckbeard? Got glasses and a weird fucked
Found
up.
him.
Yeah, that's him. He got recently got accused, and everything that if anyone knows who H.A. Goodman is, go check out his channel. He's from everything that I've heard about this guy, at least from Goodman, is that he is just a fucking creep. So he's saying just go read that Medium article, because that Medium article was fucking insane.
Put it in the whatever the live stream chat is, so people can see it.
Someone in chat was saying men's health, safety, and well-being is a social issue that needs political support in the way of funding at community services, not turning it into damn feminists or holding us back or damn lefties. I don't think that's what people's points were. I think it was more about you see those causes and women's shelters and things like that, and their mental health government support than like men's issues do. And even with statistics out there, like, most men who pre-45, it's suicide, and you don't see things that are focused towards men in that cause.
If you want the conspiratorial answer, it all goes back to George Soros, but just wait until me and Brittany Pettibone finish our series on him for more details on that. He's got there was this one list of 100 different groups Soros funded the Women's March. These 100 groups that marched in the Women's March had Soros backing, is what I mean.
It's not surprising. It really isn't. Soros has been a leftist since forever. He's very much anti anyone he's a lobbyist first and foremost, and he's very much against Trump's idea to drain the swamp. especially with this new tax reform that's coming out, that's helping the middle class out a lot more than it is the corporates, the big corporations. And with Trump saying the things that he's saying about the swamp, I really think it's him going, oh, so shit, I'm about to lose power in a lot of places. I need to stop this now.
He backed Hillary Clinton way back before she even officially started running. He became like a chair on like one of her finance boards or whatever. Like he ran money shit basically, and he dumped like 10 million, I think it was, from the Soros Foundation. I'm trying to remember my notes that during the video. It was 10 million for Clinton, but 25 million overall for Democrats, I think what it was. So you got that going on. So you're totally right in what you're saying about him being anti-Trump.
Well, not only that, but like, I mean, in response to that, like within the chat, you don't, even if you don't say it's those things or, the left pushing it, it's a simple matter of the fact that even moderate men's groups who try to push for some reform for men's health and stuff, they don't get any traction because they get shut down by the feminists and, oh, we're for everyone, but unless you're trying to do it with us. You're either with us or you're against us.
It's just the cold hard fact that Soros is an entity, and he dumped $18 billion bucks into his open society thing recently, and this is the type of shit he funds. So it sucks that this is the answer, but that's what it is.
Well, since we're talking about leftists now, we're still I want to not get us back on track. I just want to make sure everybody knows this is a stream for donations. If you want to go ahead and donate, we have 4 links down below. One is for Mission 22, which is a veterans PTSD and mental health awareness. Most veterans are men. Also, a lot of men suffer from PTSD, stuff like that. Mission 22 tries to reduce the suicide rate for veterans. Aside from that, always a great organization. We love having Mission 22 on our side. Coming from a veteran personally, I've had a lot of friends who have died from killing themselves. A lot of people who have had PTSD. My dad also was affected by PTSD. So yeah, it definitely is a good thing to donate to. Other than that, we also have the Manitoba Men's Health Shelter. I think Leaf talked a little bit about this earlier. Basically, they're trying to help raise funds for the Manitoba area. And help men with screening, stuff like
jobs. It helps
them
fight
with
drug addictions.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you for clarifying that. We also had the Movember Foundation. The guys who started the No Shave November, they also help get screenings for men for cancer and mental health screenings as well. They also try to help. They're one of the only groups that helps men's health worldwide on a global scale. Always a good charity. And then we have the Charlotte Men's Center, one of the only men's shelters United States. So we wanted to have at least one men's shelter that we could directly help. So, if anyone wants to donate, make sure you donate to one of the 4 links down below. And also let us know if you do donate, because we do want to give you a shout out and give you your props for doing such a great thing. But since we're on the topic of leftists now, I want to talk about something that happened to me last night. So me and my buddy Mycroft Holmes went on to do you guys know who Robin Gething is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had an interesting comment. I have an interesting conversation with Robin Gething last night and his group of, I guess they were Discord members. The group almost collectively told me that someone who pulls a trigger and kills 4 people is not as bad as somebody who gives an order to kill those 4 people. And I want to get everyone's take on that.
Is it like one of those train things where if you pull the lever, you kill 5 people, or if you don't?
I was using the example of the Holocaust. Is it okay for the Nazi, a Nazi who's in uniform, to pull a trigger on 4 Jews than it is for somebody to give the order to kill the 4 Jews? Who's worse in that situation?
I think if you're ever in that situation, you're already failed somewhere. That's my take.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I think the person who gives the order is just as culpable as the person who's pulling the trigger. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're pulling the trigger or giving the order. You're still culpable to the action, right? You're part of that cause.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was
no
my
one-
take as well. I think there was only like me and like two other people. It was me, Mycroft, and then one other guy in that group was saying that. Everyone else
Well,
said it
yeah,
was
I
the guy
mean-
who gave the order. Like I don't
I don't know
understand if
how they-
anyone knows this, but you can disobey an order. Like we are actually encouraged in the military today to disobey orders if they're unlawful. You cannot tell somebody to do an unlawful order. That's actually illegal. It's against the UCMJ, and if you're found to be doing it, you're still going to get punished along with the person who gave the order.
Okay, so back to the Weinstein thing. So yes, we accept the reality that what happened to these women is terrible. It is fucking horrific that Rose McGowan was basically stalked by ex-Mossad spies. I mean, holy shit. I mean, there was a list like that came out today from Weinstein's own personal office that it's basically a hit list of people he shuts up and keeps quiet. Yes, that's horrible. But on the other hand, you have Kevin Spacey, who preyed on younger boys back in the 80s and 90s and through today. And if you read some of these accounts, like Tony Montana detailing his encounter with Kevin Spacey, he fucking says straight up in this article he did talking about it that he got PTSD from this shit. And I'm like, wow, it's like this shit hits everyone hard.
When you say Tony Montana, do you mean Al Pacino? Or is there actually somebody called Tony Montana?
Whoever the filmmaker director guy is.
Oh, the person who made Scarface. Oh, I want to say it's Roman Polanski, but I could be wrong.
It's Tony Montana. That's his name.
The person who made Scarface is named Tony Montana.
Tony Montana. Here, I'll look it
Oh,
up.
an actual director named Tony. I'm sorry, I was misunderstanding.
Yeah, no, you made the same decision because they made the same mistake because I remember what you're talking about. They literally put Al Pacino's picture up there for like a fucking day. People were thinking like, did Al Pacino rape
Tony
somebody?
Montana. Okay, the guy who made
Yeah, he's a filmmaker, not the Scarface guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've seen this guy around. Yeah.
That-
Okay.
I see the confusion here. That's a rather unfortunate mix-up.
That's an unfortunate name to have in Hollywood, especially after Scarface.
So, guys, Casca52 apparently donated $25 to, who'd you give it to, Casca? Go ahead and throw it up in the chat. To obviously the Canadians.
See if it's AD,
side.
they donated to the
Canadian
Manitoba.
dollars, right?
Yeah, they donated to the Manitoba Center. Well, I do want to thanks so much, Casca. We really do appreciate it. I'm going to make sure that you are well rewarded by getting a shout out here. So everybody, shout
Thank you
outs to
so
Casca.
much.
Yeah, love you, dude, or girl. I don't know, whoever.
Person.
Cisgendered
Hey.
white male, if you are.
Attack helicopter.
Thing.
What's her name? Casca 52. What's her name, guys?
Casca52, yeah.
Casca 52. Cool. Awesome. Thanks so much. All right. Yep. So that's awesome. I'm glad we at least raised some money for it.
Here's the thing, though. When it comes to mental health, people have this. I mean, they grow up thinking shit is perfect by default, and things just get worse. I think that's where people have this pitfall. I mean, I went through shit myself as a kid. I mean, my dad was kind of a drunk, so I know the rough life, and never had a father figure. But the thing is, I learned over time that it's all about. I mean, life is just shit. Life is just shit by default, and we make it good and better from what we put into it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the hard thing about, like, I think for being a guy, and you don't hear it often, but men are molested as children just as much as, women are. And it's one of those things.
I didn't have that happen. I just got beaten.
No, not you specifically, but it happens, but you don't hear about it as much because, that whole frowned upon situation, or kids in high school or middle school, and it's like, oh, you should have liked it because it was, a hot teacher.
I hate that.
Yeah.
But there's so many cases of lady teachers banging young boys.
I mean, I grew up in an interesting household situation and everything, and had to go through a lot of shit as a kid. And thankfully, I was lucky and had my aunt and uncle who took me in at like 6, me and my brother, and lucked out versus where we could have ended up at. And I think it's understandable to see that you can get fucked up as a kid but still be a successful adult. And I went to counseling as a kid and did things the right way because they wanted me to, and I turned out to be a good acting member of society who's not wronged anyone or done anything crazy. So
were they drug dealers?
Drugs, some other stuff. Like I remember door when I was like 5-ish, got battering rammed in by the local police. Yeah. And my little brother, who's about almost 2 years younger than me, and we were both in the house and like crazy shit. But thankfully we had, the aunt and uncle who took us in, but they didn't just leave it and let it lie of, oh, we hope you'll get better. They, had us do counseling and other shit because it's a kind of fucked up situation to be a 5-year-old in.
5-year-old in what?
In that situation, with seeing your parent, your biological mother arrested and taken out. Like now I don't really give a shit because I realize how big of a scumbag she was, but
taken out, you mean like, did you see her get murdered or something?
No, taken out isn't like freaking thrown to the ground
into the paddy wagon.
Yeah, handcuffed and like all kinds of crazy shit. And like I remember like, and this is completely weird, is like now I think about it and I'm like, okay, that's what it was. Her drug dealer would come over all the time and he'd bring me and my brother like Frosted Flakes because there was never food in the house. And it was like a distractor because she couldn't pay for her drugs, so she was giving it away to get her drugs, is what I can put together now,
Yeah.
So to grow up in that, and still turn out a functioning member of society is kind of it's all in the effort you put in, no matter what sex you are,
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's a real success story. I'm actually that's actually very uplifting. I really, it's bad whenever you come from situations like that. It's always really good to hear whenever people get out. Like Ben Carson is a good example of that because Ben Carson was, he was in a single mother household. His mother forced him to read a book a day or a book a week or something like that, all the way up till he became a man. Went to Johns Hopkins University and was he was as of last year or a couple of years ago, he was the neurological head of Johns Hopkins University, and now he's working for the Department of Urban Development and doing a great job of it, from what I heard. So it's really good whenever people come out of areas like that and then are becoming functioning members of society, because so often that people come out of stuff like that and they aren't the same. They're not functioning members of society. They make the same mistakes as their the forefathers have, and it's always a little, not disappointing, but it's a little sad to see at the same time.
I got lucky. I ran away from home after a fight with my stepdad in the summer after 9th grade. I didn't mean to run away from home. I just ran out of my socks and just went on a walk and just kept on walking. And before I knew it, it was like 3 a.m. I saw the moon and I said, oh fuck, I better go home. And hitchhiked, and these 2 college girls picked me up. And one of them was the designated driver, one of them was not. And I just remember them being handsy, the drunk one being handsy. And well, the designated driver just asked questions about who I was, because I was a strange, kid, that hitchhiked home at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
and
that's weird. I don't know if you guys saw the other day where he shared a similar situation with like college-age girls, and it's hearing it from more men that they run into these situations, because I had that while living in that situation with one of the neighbor teenagers, like a girl. It's like one of those things where I don't know if it's they sense the victim.
No,
like the that you put off something, that you're an easy target. You know what I mean?
I definitely think there's some sort of like, science to what that people give off an aura of victimness, easy prey, whatever it's called.
So
tell me more. You seem like you got an interesting backstory, dude. Tell me more stories.
Well, that's not. So that's not all the way it ended, and I share this, and I'll share this with everyone here because you know what, like I've shared it with Andy and some other people. So not only was that what me and my brother had to deal with as a minors with our biological mother, she also molested both of us.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, you don't hear that much with the the mother being the one who caused the action, but like. Literally multiple family members as well as cousins had ended up walking into it and started reporting it. And basically my aunt and uncle, who became my parents, they are the ones I call mom and dad. I grew up with them since 1990 till, I was old stuff. And being 33 now, they basically forced her hand and said, you know what, you're going to sign legal guardianship over to us, or, we're going to basically fuck your world even more than it already is, So she took me and my brother, we were staying at my aunt and uncle's probably like every other weekend or so anyways. So they were kind of like the pseudo parents as it was. So it's one of those things where it's like you go through crazy shit, but it's all about like how you come out of it and the support system you have around you. And I think that's these men's health issues, like mentally, if you don't have a support system or you don't have, somewhere to fall into like the Manitoba shelter or an American shelter there is, you're going to probably get lost in the weeds and you're going to go,
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's all about perspective too. Like now that you tell me that story, I just think about the times my good old drunk dad threw our dog in the lake. It's not as bad as the shit you had to go through. Jesus.
Oh, it's made me who I am, and it's made me the better person for it, and because I got lucky. Like, I truly got lucky. If I wouldn't have had my aunt and uncle, I probably would have been, dead in a ditch somewhere with a needle stuck in my arm by this point, even though I never got into drugs. But that's because I had to watch it as a kid,
Yeah. I mean, I'm just lucky my old man got his shit together eventually. But at that point, I already grew up without a kind of father figure, so it's kind of tragic. But you, man, holy shit.
It's what it is, man. I came out of it, and I'm alive, and I have a career, and I'm married next year. So I mean, I'm doing pretty damn well, considering.
Mazel tov. You got a fancy ass rug in the background.
Oh, it's the fiance's own rug in the background. She likes hanging it, so.
I won't make a joke.
It's okay. It's in Sanskrit, man. You can make as many jokes as you want. I've heard jokes that when my videos I look like I should have a gun and be a terrorist, but
Someone play the ISIS music.
Yeah.
We'll set it up. Yeah.
Aloha snack bar. Aloha snack bar.
Yeah,
just wait. I see that Nick Monroe has solved the great case of why Bunty got suspended.
Oh no, that was Leaf, and just posted it without.
Yeah, that was Leaf.
I posted it without the identity of the person who reported.
That was a good choice because one of the dude's sneaky little rat friends decided he was gonna try to threaten me, so I had to delete my tweet.
That's what I saw coming from the future. So in the past, I was like, I'm gonna just censor this person's name out so this bullshit doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, I was like.
I found out who it was though. He's a fat BLM supporting feminist. So.
What a surprise!
Intersectional feminist.
Someone I don't know who.
Yes, intersectional. Actually, he actually has that in his bio.
Yep, intersectional feminist.
And how dare Buntyking tell somebody to hug someone else? How dare he?
What a horrible human being.
He's such an awful guy, dude. I don't understand. You know what? Get Buntyking in here right now.
I don't know where he is. He's like, I'm gonna head home and hop in, sure, and then like.
He's
dead.
probably out. He was probably out doing something today.
Well, he
to
was
be
he was
honest.
out because we were all in a bin chat and it was very loud. And he had found one of his friends there. He apparently hadn't seen in a while. Well, we were trying to discuss it.
But that's the thing with those people, man. It's like no one. I mean, what's wrong with saying this guy's having a bad day? Apparently, go give him a hug. Some sort of joke name.
It's targeted harassment, guys. Like fuck, can't do that. I'm not allowed to tell people to give someone a hug.
What am I going to be talking about at the Kilroy event, or is what is Nick going to be talking about at the Kilroy event?
Oh yeah, I guess I can say that now. I'll be at the Kilroy event doing a speecharoo or a talk with.
Are you doing a Warski panel?
I don't know what I'm doing. I just know I've been signed up and I'm talking about media, manipulation. Sounds like fun. I was around since the start of Gamergate, so I know a thing or two about all that bullshit.
Hey, same here, man. Dude, those GG days were back. Were fucking great.
Bro, I think I might be doing so. I messaged Dave, but he never got back to me. I told him yesterday on both these streams I messaged him. But I think I might be doing a panel. But I did get Bronx Blogger is interested in going. So I think I can help. Because Base Mama wanted a diverse area of opinions here. And, who better to have a diverse opinion than an ANCOM? So,
Well, yeah.
What? What's an ANCOM?
An anarcho-communist.
You make it sound like a snake, like an anaconda.
No, but seriously, no. It looks like, speaking just on the Kilroy, they look like they have a really good lineup. If it all goes according to plan. Like I'm
I'm a Jesus Christ, that dog.
He has depression. All right,
dude. It sounds like he's helping your leg. That's why you have the camera off.
Men's dog's mental health awareness. Free.
Here, I'll put him in my lap. He likes this. So come here.
Okay.
I bet he does.
And just oh my Casey, what are you doing to that doggy?
You just pet the shit out of him.
Yeah, dude.
Aww. He's adorable. I want to pet him. If you're not gonna pet him, I will.
He thinks he's a lap dog still and likes to be held.
Aww.
Yeah, dude. No, Osman. I don't know if I'm gonna be on a panel or not, dude. They haven't gotten back.
Well, I know. The reason I asked about Warski is he was looking for people for his panel because they basically gave him a whole panel and he just found out for people to fill his panel.
All I know is I'm hanging out with Brittany Pettibone.
Oh yeah?
No, yeah, she's coming.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, like there's a bunch of other people, like a bunch of alt media guys who are going there too. So it's not just a bunch of speakers. So
I swear to God, if Gab AI is there and he starts spurging out, he's gonna get the rock bottom. He's gonna get the rock bottom.
No, Gab is the only hope we have left because Twitter's gonna ban us all come next month.
Sorry, no, fuck Gab. I do not like it. I'm gonna tell you why I do not fucking like Gab, and the reason is because my very first encounter with the dude behind Gab was extremely negative. I was asking questions about Gab, like about the website, where the money was going, like what made it different from other websites, like because some of the features they were charging for were a bit odd to me, like charging money to bookmark shit. Like I was like, okay, that's a bit odd. So I questioned that, and I wasn't mean, I wasn't rude, I was very, very polite, and this dude was very, very fucking hostile and very condescending immediately. And I'm not, I know for a fact I'm not the only person that has encountered this dude, and he had him be like a total asshole. Like other people have said this too, like the PR for Gab is fucking horrible. If they fix their PR, I'll join Gab and tell
for one,
and,
the PR thing is because, I mean, holy shit, the mainstream media is against Gab entirely.
Well, maybe if the dude wasn't so shit at like dealing with people, maybe this wouldn't be happening. Because I have a funny feeling there's some things he hasn't been saying because he tries to act for no reason. But I've seen how he talks to people who so much as question his website or even slightly criticize it, and he he's very disrespectful towards people. So like maybe there was a dispute between the App Store where I know it was taken off of. Like I don't know, like there's something I don't trust. And
Dude got butt fucked by both iOS and Android, and they took his app off both of them. And the only reason there's an Android app still is because they sidelined or they sideloaded or whatever.
Yeah, it's
like
open
I said,
with it being open market.
He likes to be very disrespectful towards people that question him or criticize his website or stuff like that. So I'm not surprised that maybe there's something that happened between him and both Android and Apple that he's not telling people. I'm not gonna make say these are like facts. I'm just like I'm very skeptical when it comes to him, just based off my personal interaction with him and with how I've seen him treat other people who questioned him or criticized Gab a bit. Like I just you gotta fix your PR, dude. If you want more people to join your fucking website, you can't be a fucking dick to them when they ask questions.
For one, he's been very open about him being butt fucked by iOS and Apple. I mean, Apple and Google. I mean, he's been pretty transparent on that front. But the second thing you have to realize is when it comes to new, players in the market that have at least the slightest chance of some sort of competitive, impact, these things get bought out by Google and Apple on purpose in order to maintain this monopoly they've got going on. That's what it is. They want to keep their control of the people's attention and their possibility for an outlet to speak from, so they just buy everyone else out.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you there, Nick. I completely agree. I think you're right. I think he is getting fucked over by the media. But I'm going to say this. From all the tweets on his account, the ones that question him are the ones he goes. Like I asked him a quick question. I said, are we going to be able to make, I think I was actually responding to something Leaf said or something about that. And then he like retweeted me. And then I had all these, like, he fucking like sends his goons after people, dude. I don't like people who will retweet you and then say, wow, what a fucking idiot. You're dumb because you don't agree with my system I'm using, or you have questions about it. And then like, and I think, I can understand somebody being a little bit skeptical, TM, about, somebody, coming on their platform and then like, talking crap about him or whatever. But when it comes to Gab, he really needs to just have somebody else run that PR for him. I at least in my opinion, I don't know anything because I mean, I've only got like 900 subscribers, but I do know this: you're gonna attract more people with honey than you are with vinegar.
That's what, like, honestly.
No, I think you're exactly right.
Gap. Like, I was set to join. Like, I was like really, really interested in becoming a member. I was like, so when I asked a question and I wasn't mean about it and I approached him like respectfully, and for him to immediately get hostile and condescending, I was like, okay, fuck you too then, dude. Yeah, I'm not gonna be joining your website. And that's when I went to Minds instead. Which,
how's Minds?
I mean, actually, like I don't use it a lot. I don't mind it. Like, I mean, it's interesting.
I don't mind it.
It's interesting. I mean, I don't hate it. It's just like I'm fucking retarded and didn't download it onto my new phone. I'm kind of like.
I'm gonna be honest. It's not a great system.
It's not great, but it's not like horrible either. I mean,
I have a Minds and I have a Gab, and I've got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Out of all of them, I prefer. If we're talking just new media platforms, I mean, I'll go to Gab, but I'm not gonna keep using it if he's gonna do that. To be honest.
Wait, so if you had the choice between Gab and Minds, I don't understand going to Minds out of spite.
It's not that I'm going to Minds out of spite. I'm still making videos and I'll post them on Gab, but at the same time, like if you're gonna, like I said, if you're gonna run a business, you don't need to be coming over to people and just screeching at them because they have questions about your platform or because you think that there's some elaborate spy sent by Google or Twitter to come and, harass you or whatever. It's completely fine to be skeptical about big businesses like that coming after a small competitor, especially when they have a huge market here in this skeptosphere, one would call it. They have a huge market here. They have a huge market on people coming from YouTube and going over to them. And I do see the opportunity for a smaller, smaller place to thrive in that market. But like I said, honey attracts more people than vinegar.
I just
and
think,
that's what he's not understanding with this.
like, I feel
I
it's
think
just about approachability. Like, I can go to mines, I can ask questions, and I'm not gonna fucking have some asshole in my face treating me like shit. I was like, okay, well, it's not like I'm not doing it out of spite. Like, I wouldn't, like, if he fucking gets his shit together and stops being a dick to anybody who asks him questions or has some criticisms to make, sure, I'll join Gab, but I really haven't seen any changes. And it's not only me saying this, his PR is shit. Like, he needs to find a people person, a person who is like very patient and very good with being nice to people, because that's how you're going to get more people to want to join your website.
It's just marketing. It's marketing 101. Like, you don't piss off people and then expect them to go say nice things about it. You're gonna tell more people not to join it if you get pissed off by the person running it.
I'm actually, like, when it comes to people who are like, oh, you should join Gab or whatever, I'll be like, I'll tell my story why I'm not really big on making an account there and being a part of that website right now. I don't discourage them from joining because, I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, you shouldn't fucking make a Gab account because this dude was mean to me once. Like, no, whatever. Like, I have my personal reasons. If you want to make a Gab account, go right ahead.
I'm just surprised. I mean, I'm just listening to what you two are saying, and I guess if that's what happened to you and that's your opinion, I guess I should respect that, like a normal human being.
Hey, all I'm saying, like, if he can get it in his skull that being an asshole is not really working, I'll join Gab. I will, but I have to be convinced that he's actually honestly trying to make a change in how he approaches people who ask questions or who have criticisms or ideas to make the website better.
Some fucker from the Irish Times is moaning about, oh, people are being mean because I made fun of International Men's Day.
Huh. I wonder why. Maybe it's like if you're a dick.
Sorry, I just came back. What did I miss? Sorry about that.
Being a dick in general is just a bad thing, and if someone makes fun of something, they should expect to get their comeuppance.
Yeah, I agree, and I completely agree. And that's what I'm saying here. If somebody at Gab, or not Gab, but let's use a real life example. If say I or Casey goes to Kilroy, and one of the people who made it, or someone like that, maybe someone who's helping run it or something like that, is being a dick to me, I'm going to be kind of hesitant about going back to Kilroy the next year. I'm very hesitant.
Just to be clear, no one at Kilroy who are running Kilroy is being a dick to you, right?
No. I love baseball. I love Dave Cullen. I love the idea of this. I'm going. That's why I'm hoping I can get on a panel. If not, no big deal. I can have talks to people there. But regardless of that, well, there goes Casey.
Rip.
Anyway, rip. But regardless of that, if somebody at the Kilroy event ends up being a dick to me for something, and I'm not just, if say I caused it, like if I'm being a dick to somebody else and then they be a dick to me in response, I'm not going to be upset about that. But whenever it's somebody who is coming out just being a dick for no reason, and wants to come over and just talk shit to you, your YouTube channel fucking sucks, your subscribers are the worst, blah 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 blah. It's kind of making me hesitant to go back if that were to happen.
It's very off-putting. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
it's off-putting. I guess is the word. It's not that I was doing it out of spite. It's just off-putting for me to do that.
Yeah, like, yeah. I mean, I honestly, when I thought he was like a cool dude before I fucking interacted with him, and then.
And
like,
now you're
I'm
talking
just
back. Just to be clear, you're talking about Gab again because I don't want
Yeah,
things taken out of
talking about.
context.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah. No,
Yeah.
we're not talking about Kilroy now. We're talking about Gab.
And when you're talking about Kilroy, it was a hypothetical example and shouldn't be taken literally.
Yes, yes. No, everyone go to
Yes.
Kilroy. Actually, go donate your money to there. But first, donate here. That's the important one.
Yes, please.
Donate to
Yeah.
the men's charities first. And then if you have money left, go to Kilroy. By the way, they are almost halfway to their goal of 85,000 reached. They're at $40,180 right now. Fantastic.
Hallelujah.
Damn, dude.
Fantastic. I'm going to try to pledge and get the $150 tier if I get some Streamlabs money later on. But aside from that, Leaf, you want to go ahead and tell the people why we're here
I
again?
think that's. Yeah, go
Oh,
for it,
by
Leaf.
the way, I posted this link in at like a random server to because they asked for it when I told them I was doing a stream with you guys. And
What?
by the way, Politipod, someone said your name is so adorbs.
Wait, who said what? Huh? What?
And so someone in the Discord server I'm in said your name, Politipod, is so adorbs.
Wait, which
Okay.
Discord is this?
Fucking, I was like, someone. What is it?
She can't say 'cause it's
Krillism.
not-
Krillism. If you want the link, I can get you the link. Like,
Yeah,
it's pretty
sure, why
fucking-
not? I have 8,000 other Discords, why not? But Leaf, you have to talk about the men's. You know what, Leaf? Here's what we're gonna do instead. I want a Gluck. I want you to look at all the people. I want you to tell them what charities are we trying to raise money for today?
Today we are raising charities for men's health issues. We're focusing on PTSD awareness for vets, mission22.com. That has a very special place in Politipod's heart, and I 100% support that. Manitoba Men's Health, that was brought over to us from our Canadian buddy, Miss Leaf. Movember, which, as you can see, I haven't shaved. And the Charlotte Men's Center, which is one of the few men's shelters here in the United States. They do groups. I actually joined one where we raise money and don't shave, and then the money all goes to, it's a lot of prostate awareness and men's cancer issue awareness.
And all of those
links are yep. Go for it.
And all those links are down in the description below. We have had somebody already donate $25. I do want everyone to please tell us here on our last stretch here. Please let us know if you are going to be doing the donating or if you have donated anything. Anything helps. If it's $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, up to $1,000 or whatever you want to donate. Anything's fine. As long as you are donating, just let us know, and we will go ahead and shout you out, get you some recognition, because we do want to thank everybody who does it.
Question: what makes a good man?
That's a bit subjective, don't you think?
That's the point. What
Well,
makes it like that one song?
Buntyking makes a good
man.
Holy shit, he came.
This guy right here makes a good man, I tell you what.
Hey, Bunty, I'm a friend of Ian's, and so by default we're cool, right?
We should be. I mean, what's her name?
Nick Monroe.
Hey, Nick, man. Thank you so much for the support, by the way. I appreciate you.
It's no big deal, hombre. I'd ask you to follow me back on Twitter, but fudge. That's kind of the problem here. Can you go over what exactly happened?
I mean, I was just replying to my followers, and I was just like saying nice things to them, and then I got suspended. That's pretty much it. And I got suspended for, I originally thought it was because like these alt-right types were digging through my tweets to try to like frame me as some kind of fucked up pedophile. It was so awkward and so like that was just that made me feel sick, by the way, that they would try to do that. Then it was like then I found it was sitting around in my Discord, and someone posted in my administration section a link to, or like an image of some dude saying that was the easiest report of my life, and I think listed kind of why it was, and then I put 2 and 2 together. So I remember, like he said he tried to get his followers to harass someone, and I was like, when's the last time I ever called my followers to like do something or harass them? And I was like, oh my god, wait, I asked my followers to give this guy a hug, which I was like legit, I was being literal about. I was like, go and give him a hug because he's being weird, you know.
You know what? How dare you? How dare you tell anyone to have a nice day and give them a hug? Disgusting.
I don't know. I honestly, to be honest, like if I get my Twitter back, I get my Twitter back. I mean, I've appealed it. I'm gonna try appealing it like up to 3 times. If the 3rd time fails, then I'm completely done with it. But it's been a major relief. Like today, I felt way more productive than I've ever felt in like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just annoying getting some of the messages that come around. Like they're like, "Hey, this guy's trying to like spread these tweets about you," and I'm like, "Oh," and I'm like, "I don't want to see." Like it's so stupid. Like it's just so annoying because I'm not there to. I'm not even there to defend myself, you know. But thankfully, people have been defending me on my behalf, which is really chill. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's really pretty much it. I'm just glad. I hate Twitter. I don't hate it, but like I hate the environment that it is. I love the platform. I love the way the way you can connect with people. I love how the reach that you can get with it. But I just hate the way they've been managing it. Just disgusting.
I met someone who's now my best friend on Twitter. So yeah, I know.
No, I mean, dude, I met so many cool people. I would say, and this is just a number I'm pulling on my ass, but I think that is more accurate than it is. And 99% of the people that follow me, I would consider amazing people. I would like consider them 100% like good people that I would love to live next to. And I've said that before, you know. And it's just like it's unfortunate that happens. And I just take that loss that again. And it's been like honestly, it's been a really rough like 3 weeks on Twitter, just with all of the negativity. And then and then with that, and then with people digging up my old tweets to kind of misrepresent me, and then leading up to the suspension, it was just like, ugh. I was like, this is so dumb, I spend a lot of time on Twitter, and a lot of time because I felt like I was helping people out. Like I really felt like there was no money to be gained. It's just like I really enjoyed interacting with good people or making people laugh or like recording a Twitter video. And sorry if I seem really dark. I'm just chilling in my room right now. I'm in my bed. And yeah, so like.
Yeah, let me actually ask, since we're talking about men stuff here. So, I mean, you're a dude. So, why did you go this route of being the nicest motherfucker on the face of the planet?
I'm first of all, I don't consider myself to be the nicest. There's people that I'm totally mean with. Like, listen, at the end of the day, I've definitely met a few people on Twitter where if I met them in real life, I would probably knock them out. Like, I'm not even
Richard
joking.
Spencer.
Not even Richard Spencer. Like, I would just ignored. But like, there's some people that like have really gotten in my face that have just been super annoying. That I've been like either leave me alone or I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you. Like that's the way I've like felt with them. And but I haven't voiced that because I don't think that it's a very gentlemanly thing to do, and I think it would have sent the wrong message to my followers and everyone. So I kept that inside, and I would only talk about that with my friends. And my friends obviously would like they would see like the negative comments way down on me, especially in the last 2 days. Like when
shit hit the fan.
Yeah, well, when shit hit the fan, when I saw that people were looking through my old tweets, and I hate to bring it up, but it really fucked me up because I was like, first of all, my Twitter account has always been public. It's never been private. I've never had a private Twitter account. The moment I signed up for it, I added all of my friends that were on it. One of my friends had asked me to come on. So anything that I ever said on Twitter was said within my direct vicinity of friends, and then often was extensions of discussions I was having with like my friends. So for the longest time, I was using Twitter like I was using Facebook. I was really only kind of keeping in touch with my friends and the odd celebrity. Occasionally, I would kind of like tweet out a celebrity, and I would tweet out something dumb, and like I would be like, they're never gonna notice anyway, Like it was a very simplistic approach to Twitter.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, it was the wrong approach to Twitter at the same time because like for me, like I was saying things that that my friends would understand, right? The people who knew me would understand. And then I wasn't saying the things that everybody would understand. And when I started, growing on Twitter, in 2016, I kind of refocused everything, and I pretty much what I did was I started tweeting things like because I knew people were watching. I knew people that didn't know me were watching. I know people that weren't my friends were watching, or paying attention. So I kind of changed the manner in which I talked about things, especially after my first suspension, which was because of Tariq Nasheed. I completely changed the words I use, and not just because I knew that it was going to get me in trouble, but also because I was like, listen, saying words like faggot, saying words like retarded over and over again, it polarizes people. These people, some people feel really hurt by these words, and I'm not going to go ahead and I don't want to not say them because I don't want to I just want to make them feel better about themselves.
Oh,
but
Jesus.
But I wanted them to see that I'm capable of not using these words in favor of an environment that's much better and much more pleasant for people.
Let me get you mad in just one sentence. You ready?
What's up?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Woody.
Who is Twitter to put this fixed value on the friendships and experiences he made on this website by just ripping it all away in one go?
I'm not. That doesn't make me angry, honestly. It's not even that. Because honestly, all the people that I made friends with are somewhat reachable. I mean, I can't even say. I would say PewDiePie was more of an acquaintance. I did message him a couple of times, but and same thing with H3H3. These are big people that were following me, and I was even getting followed by some athletes, and I never really reached out to them because I never followed them back. But PewDiePie and H3, I DM'd a bunch of times, so I don't know if I'll ever be able to really get in touch with them again. I'm sure that they know who I am, and PewDiePie subbed to my channel at least. That's what he said. But it sucks that I can't reach out to him at any moment. I'm sure that if I were,
I can. If you want me to send a message to him, just tell me. PewDiePie follows me.
Oh, that's great. So then I'll probably shoot you a line sometime because I would love to get him on an interview, just talk to him. But I'm not expecting that. Of course, I'm definitely not expecting that.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I did work on building these connections, and yeah, they're gone in a couple of taps because some fucking Antifa loser decided to go ahead and report me, and he's never gonna. Yeah, he's never gonna. That guy's never gonna accomplish anything with his Twitter, and it's just kind of shit. But whatever, man. I'm not gonna sit here and bitch about it like crazy. I just think that I just think that it's really. I just think that it's fascinating that I was able to polarize so many people by just being authentically myself and just laugh at things. Laugh at both sides. People being ridiculous. Be this representative of the reality that I'd come to know, which is being a Montrealer and a Canadian, and just being able to talk about things from my own perspective and kind of just show people that that life is nuanced. That there's not not everyone's a Nazi and not everyone's a fucking psycho liberal cuck dude. That there's people on all sides that are completely ridiculous, and they're the ones that we're allowing to drive this narrative.
And if I was a leftist for a second, you being an Indian guy, Twitter's losing its diversity all of a sudden. They're down a few diversity points.
I would say so. I don't know, man. Honestly, it's just the best part though about all of this is that, and you guys can let me know what you think about this. I have a major problem in focusing too much on the negative things that have been said about me. And the reason why I've been like this is because I was bullied a lot as a kid, So anytime someone says something mean about me, it really hurts because I really try very hard to be good to people, and I'm like, it makes me feel really shitty, and I don't really put that on a lot. I kind of just laugh, and when I'm on a video on Twitter or when I'm on YouTube, I'm laughing. When I'm on my live show, I'm always gonna be laughing. I can't it's not because I'm forcing it. It's because I'm actually genuinely happy to be interviewing someone or talking to someone. And genuinely happy to be creating content for people who want to see it. But it's just it's just shit. It's just really shit that that happens, and I hate that I put so much stock in it. I hate that I put so much stock in it. What's up?
Nobody on this planet. People are gonna make you whatever they want you to be. You can tell them what you are, but they're gonna ignore it anyway and put their own definition on you. So accept that and say fuck them. Let them have their own change of heart. You're never going to be able to change some people's minds, and that's just the way things are.
That's
When-
true.
I can say that from experience, and I'm gonna save you so many days and nights of just pondering over this shit. And I'm just giving you the answer straight up right now. This is the truth.
So would you say,
Not every.
like, would you say,
But, sorry, go ahead.
so I, like, for example, I want to do like one of my next videos, like my next like actual VOD stream is going to be a let's talk on that dumb shit fucking that tweet I made there about Hit Girl from Kick-Ass, and then of course talk about how like social media is just this kind of like, it's as much of a curse as it is a blessing, because I mean people are able to look back years and just kind of like fit something in with their narrative that they have of you, and I want to do that. Would you suggest that I do a video like that and talk about it and address it when it shouldn't really be addressed at all? Because obviously I know I'm totally fine, but why
Keep
do
it
I have
simple.
keep it simple?
That way it's more realistic to what your thoughts are. And if you just talk about like this is this sort of setting right here in a live stream is perfect. This is you addressing this shit. This is the perfect setting. There's no window dressing on this. This is just you, man, and that's what people want.
Oh, okay, so that's great. So then I've already said it. So I don't need
There
to
you
say it
go.
again. I don't
Job
need
well
to say it
done.
again. Yeah.
But Bunty, whenever you're ready to go on Facebook, that spot's still open for you. The head admin is interested in speaking to you.
Yeah, I would love to. I'd love to. Totally love to. It'd be cool.
I sent you the Discord link. It won't ever expire, so just join whenever you're not busy. And he's usually around. I mean, he is out and about during the day, but when he has the time, he does like to sit down and pick people's brains. He's very, very intelligent guy. I'm very proud to have him as my friend. He's a smart dude.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah,
He's
for
gonna
sure.
go in places.
Well, I'll
It's
tell you
all-
this, Bunty. I've been following you for quite a while, and main reasons why I even decided to start content, and just seeing like, and I'm not trying to build you up here, man. I know like you don't need that. You're a level-headed dude, but I started content after getting into your content and like PewDiePie's and stuff, and it was one of those things where I liked your nicer middle approach, because that's kind of where I fall in the middle, and you know what, I hate the bullshit on both sides. So that's one of the reasons why I started doing content, and it was following you on Twitter and other things and seeing the kind of like character you are in the sense of your personality is what like drove people to you, and it's not going to keep people away, because most of your Twitter people now follow you on YouTube and other places. So
yeah, they definitely do, and like my Discord has been really active lately, like really, really active, and I think it's going to continue being active. I'm actually trying to convert my Discord into a bit of a communication hub, because I even got together with my admins today and to kind of work through the roles, and I've got like instead of having like obviously I have roles for the Patreon, and I'm also going to have roles for my Twitch subs and stuff like that, but in terms of like creators present in the Discord, like I've pretty much like outlined who's a journalist, who's a YouTuber, who's a developer, and just made it like so that like people who come in who are contributing something to the culture that we've been like cultivating for years now have like a legit place and a way to kind of like communicate, and also like just because it's like everyone's kind of cracking down on people on Twitter, and I feel like my Discord definitely isn't a very
We're
hateful
headed
place.
for a shitstorm. We're headed for a shitstorm of some kind. I don't know what it is, but my spider senses say that something's coming somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm trying to show
you can
that
feel it.
Discord as much as I can. By the way, like
sorry.
I said, I'm trying to show your Discord server as much as
well,
I
that's-
can on my Twitter
that's
and
sweet.
stuff.
That's sweet. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out like how to get the best lighting here. There we go.
It's some sort of conflict between whatever the Trump supporting alt-right is and the Antifa people, and that conflict in itself ends up impacting everyone else by proxy. I mean, you with like Twitter's policies, they're going to crack down. You think they're going to hit perfect on target, 100% what they say they are, these evil Nazis or whatever? No, they're going to hit innocent people too, and it's going to make more polarization. And so it just all goes to shit from that.
Well, they're going to go with they're going to have to do a bot kind of algorithm or something and look at how well that's worked for YouTube, you know?
I was just going to say that's going to make everything go to the pooper.
Well, I mean, let's look at some of the people who are talking about this in like a positive light, like not Tim Pool, what's his name? Peter Coffin. Peter Coffin is like one of these proponents for like all these bot systems and stuff like that. And he came on the other day, like he was talking to his base about like the free marketplace of ideas has to die. But I don't think a lot of these people understand that doesn't affect just their ideas, because a lot of them say horrible stuff too. It's not just I'm a leftist, I'm free
safe
from this. Yeah,
I'm safe. Yeah, I know. So it's really shit attitude. Honestly, like this whole
pigeonholing.
A big part of me has been really I've been upset with myself for getting involved in this shit because, obviously I'm able to command an audience and because I'm able to command an audience, it's put a mark on my back in terms of, the people on either side, the fringe on either side, right? I mean, like it's like it's upsetting. It's upsetting to people that are on the fringe left to see a brown person saying something that they don't like, and then it's upsetting for some people on the fringe right to see a brown person that isn't this brown person that's shitting on the street and representing brown people in a way that's like good and representing this idea of diversity. That's a way that's good. Like I hate using the word diversity, but like diversity, you know what I mean? Like the fact that I do come from a bit of a diverse city. It's a multi-ethnic city. It bothers the fuck out of them. Because I'm there constantly, just not like throwing a permanent wrench into their narrative, but like, because I don't come in with like crazy facts and statistics, but I tell them that I live in Montreal and over here, there are people from different ethnicities all over the place. And we are totally fine, and nobody is trying to kill anyone, and we don't have no-go zones, and everything is nice. And so I don't really understand why people are, so like that kind of that bothers them. It totally does. It pisses them off. And
what bothers me is the fact that Apple's chief of diversity got shit canned because of their definition of the word diversity being ideas.
Yeah, which is real diversity.
Man,
that's exactly it. And
Yeah.
it pisses me off that they wanted someone who thinks diversity is skin color, and that's the
Which
sort
one
of
your
thing.
fucking pants.
That's the sort of thing that's gonna make us go to hell, man. We're just.
Well, she was standing there and she was like, diversity. You could have a bunch of dudes with blonde hair and blue eyes in one room, and it could still be diverse, because for me, diversity is about experience. And I'm like, you can't fucking say that. I was like, what?
Yeah, she got fired.
Really?
No, and she got hit hard. That was one of the first videos I did, was when she made that statement, and it was nice to see that coming from someone in that kind of position, and then just to watch the shit storm that hit her for no reason, when it's like, sorry that it's the same thing with like the stuff we're talking about here with men's rights, and you have someone who stood up and said something that 12 men could be, diverse, and she got shit canned over it.
Yep.
Any kind of real change without raising awareness for these causes that we have listed below and other things, it's not gonna decrease things.
Yeah.
Well, it's such a weird mentality to me, because it's trying to treat people of any given group as a monolith, and I've never really understood that. Maybe that's just because I grew up around a lot of people that look different than me. Yet we all kind of, I don't know. It's weird. It's super weird to me. I just don't get it.
No, I don't get it either. I think mass communication is something that happened. It's too soon. It was way too fucking soon for everyone.
Yeah.
And nobody was ready. Nobody was ready for. Nobody.
Yeah.
It was ready. Like the only people I would say that were ready for like having their ideas out there were the people that go completely anonymous. Like they're ready because they know that like they can just say something, and then it'll never really get back to them because they'll continue doing their things in life and stuff like that. But people like myself, people like the known YouTube YouTubers, when they say something, is with them forever. For example, like Chris Reagan tweeted about tweeted about like how it's interesting how Chinese is mostly Chinese and how Japan is mostly Japanese, but like for some reason like Europeans are shit on for wanting to keep Europe mostly white, and of course that is actually a alt-right talking point. And so even though it is an alt-right talking point, it is kind of a talking point that does make some sense, because it's like, why do some people get a free pass at being able to really restrict their borders and restrict who they have into come to their society, while Europe is just required to just take everyone in when we're required to take everyone in. And it's something that I understand and I empathize with, but it's unfortunate because when you say those things, you get conflated with the alt-right. And of course, when there's people who are actually alt-righters, like the I would say like the alt-right is such a diverse movement, because I've spoken to alt-righters and say that well, they say alt-right, they say like some of them are like, oh well, my white identity is like really the last is on the bottom of the list for me. It's more about like the culture and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, cool, whatever, yeah. But like when the thing is that when you do have these talking points, they generally do piggyback, and they're like, oh yeah, he's saying something that I really like to hear. And the thing is that even though Chris Ray Gun isn't obviously alt-right, it's just that keeps coming back. That keeps coming back to him. That's going to be attached to him, And like anyone, like anywhere could kind of just keep saying that, And it's just like a really, really shitty thing that is really, really shitty byproduct of social media, of just being this mass communication. Because before that, you were able to say things in the privacy of your home or with your friends in like a small little group chat, or MSN Messenger, and it would just stay within your group of friends. It really would.
There was no screenshotting.
No, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember getting like bullied by some kids in high school over MSN. Like they would just like kind of like make fun of me, and like that would happen because they were like, but it wasn't like to the extent. My first taste of that was when I was in this forum for this game, and I remember getting doxxed. I got doxxed in 2000, and I got doxxed in 2006, I think.
What happened?
I was on this forum for this game, and essentially like I would because the forum was like just a bunch of people. There was like thousands of people in the forum, and I was trying to like build a reputation for myself. I was a little bit honestly I was a retarded teenager. Like I would say the dumbest things, and I would be like really ridiculous. At the time I thought I was a Christian, so I was like overly self-righteous. Like it was so stupid. I would annoy the shit out of people. And at some point like I made a couple of bad decisions, and I gave my phone number out to the wrong person, and next thing you know, my phone number connected to my house address, and then everything kind of like these people made a website, a little shitty like crappy like GeoCities website, with quotes that I had said, like really cringy quotes, pictures of me, like my address, my address, my phone number, and like my parents had to disconnect the phone line for the longest time because like that was it. And so yeah, that happened to me like when I was really, really young. So I had experienced doxing at a very young age, and it was the worst. It was such a shitty experience, but I got through it. I didn't really care anymore. I was like, whatever, don't really give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went away. So like my phone number for the longest time was like out there, and then everything kind of like is gone out. I'm banking on it all getting gone because obviously like their people's computers got old. They didn't really have backups back then. Like backups weren't really a thing. They weren't really
GeoCities isn't around.
Yeah, and GeoCities isn't around anymore. It's just that kind of shit happened, and so.
Yeah, the internet was young then too, so
yeah,
you got a raw taste of it.
But that was it, like growing up, I grew up with the internet, right? So I grew up with seeing internet grow from like something that that just involved going to some like going to askjeeves.com, all right, to like Google, like and going to YouTube. Like I was there when YouTube first showed up. Like when YouTube was the first time it ever popped up. I had a Gmail account when Gmail was invite only, and they sent it to academia. And then academia like invited other people. Like that's how I got my first Gmail account. I still had that Gmail account, and I had it when it was Gmail had like 2 gigs of space or something like that.
Yeah, I think I did too back then.
Yeah, and so seeing this communication build up, like obviously I was growing with it. So for me, what felt natural was just putting out whatever I felt online, because everyone that was connected with me was obviously people who I was connected with as well. You know, like nobody outside was seeing me. Like nobody like from China was really connecting with me on Facebook, on MySpace. On MySpace, it was really all my friends from high school. You know, on yeah, and like Facebook was all my friends. You know, and people that I met in real life. You know,
I remember that feel.
Yeah, and then
we let it all go to shit.
Yeah, well, now here we are, like 2017, and I put out a video on YouTube, and someone in fucking China's watching, someone in fucking India's watching, someone in fucking Europe is watching, someone in America, Canada, everywhere is watching, and like it's being seen all around the world, and everyone from everywhere is able to see it, and it's just crazy. We're not ready for this. We're not ready. Like it gives me major anxiety sometimes, just like thinking about the sheer amount of people that are like watching at this very moment, just in this moment, like the fact that I'm here in the stream, you know, people are probably going to see. Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts. It's totally nuts. We weren't ready.
We aren't ready for you live stream audience.
No, and that's I think it's the simple thing of well, our generation at least didn't grow up with this. Like at least mine and yours, Bunty, we didn't grow up with this. Like we had nothing before. Like I remember the 80s and I remember the early 90s where it was like,
yeah,
you know, and talking on a regular cordless or corded phone versus having this little shit device with me every day I don't make calls anymore. Like who makes calls? It's texts and stuff unless it's work related. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's true. Back in the day, a phone call was like the one way to communicate with someone. And you know, and at the same time, like, I think that eventually, I think that the rise of the internet has a direct correlation with mental health issues for sure.
Oh yeah.
It's like
for a perfect example, if anyone's here is a fan of Mr. Medicare, he did a series a while back. He still does it occasionally called Internet Insanity.
Yep.
I love Jim. He's great.
Yeah, but go watch those series. Go watch the gang stalking series too, because he did 2 episodes. That's good. That is insane. That's crazy.
He sounds so smug in all his videos. Like I picture him like making his videos with a fucking shit-eating grin on his face. Like he just, I love the sound of his voice.
It's like a 1950s. It's like a 1950s radio caster. That's exactly what it sounds like. But yeah.
An article.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Okay, an article I can't find anymore basically said the internet changed to 2014 with Google and Amazon and, you know, Facebook. There was this consolidation of some kind where it used to be the internet was a collection of websites, you know, separate from each other. Everything is starting to coalesce into these big companies because they're on their servers and shit like that. So that's what's happening.
Well, yeah, they're all bleeding into each other. Like I've seen Facebook ads on Twitter and stuff now.
Well, because they're owning them now. Like you have a lot of crossover. Like Instagram's owned by Facebook now. All these other things. But
yeah, that's
like,
shit too.
What you were talking about, Bunty, and it being a huge shift in like mental health when the internet and social media. I mean, because honestly, teenagers killing themselves over being cyberbullied because cyberbullying wasn't a thing, and they didn't care as much about like, you know, other people's opinions. It was just, you know, on face bullying, you know, versus and other things now. What's your take on like men's health and men's, you know, like shelters and other things for domestic care of men?
I think it's good. I think it's totally necessary.
Bunty.
I think that there's obviously some men who are at their wits' end because society has them. You know, we say a lot that you know, women are put on a pedestal, right? But I think that men are also put on a pedestal, and that pedestal is, you know, this pedestal of manliness, and that they have to attain a certain like level of status in order to be really considered a man. And I think that, you know, even though the feminist movement has kind of like shaken this idea of what like the male role in society is, it still is obviously something that's ingrained in us due to millennia of men being a very specific kind of man, you know.
I can give a rebuttal. What if feminism put men on a shitty pedestal instead?
Oh, it's
It's a
possible. It's totally possible. I mean, I'm just talking about the feminism that I'm talking about here, and like, it's not the feminism that we're all accustomed to laughing at. We're not talking about SJW feminism. I'm talking about like the first wave like of feminism. You know, like I'm talking about like the feminism that was coined by a man. Like it literally was coined by a man. Like if you look into feminism, you'll see that a man was the one that kind of like came up with the beginnings of feminism. And it's like, you know, it's just it's like really interesting because you know, men have, once again, I'm just going back here, men have always thought that, you know, they have to be this, and I still have that thought. You know, like I used to say when I was much younger, I used to say a man isn't a man until he has a wife and kids, you know. And even though I would never say that today, because I know that there's men out there who are going their own way, you know, and they definitely consider themselves to be men. And there's men who have been hurt really badly who don't want to ever, you know, get into a marriage again. I wouldn't say that. I just wouldn't say that. Just the level of empathy that I've attained has not would just make, it would make no sense for me to say that. But it's something that I apply to myself often, and I beat the shit out of myself for all the time. You know, I'm coming up to 30. You know, I don't have a I've had relationships. I was in a very long-term relationship when I was from 22 to 25, and then I was in a relationship in 2016, you know, but I'm single now, and you know, I'm coming to an age where I would have thought I would have had kids by now. I would have thought I would have had, you know, a lot of money by now, a house by now, and I don't have any of those things. And I would be lying if I said that doesn't affect me adversely, you know. And that's like that's a thing that I think a lot of men have to deal with, and it's sad.
Men just want to be loved.
Yeah, well,
I think most men do obviously they want their place in the world as they see it, you know. And there's men who feel like they're denied that, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, barring like creeps, obviously, you know, why should men have to feel like they have to adhere to a specific standard that they themselves feel like they don't have to adhere to? You know,
I think that goes your problems with society and your problems personally kind of answer each other. What if you think men have to adhere to a certain standard and you're applying that to yourself, and that's what's cutting yourself off?
Well, but by the way, I'm not speaking from like, listen, I there's things that I wanted to attain in my life, and I would like to, and I'm going to. It's just that it sucks that I haven't attained them yet. So I'm very hopeful for my future. I am.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about for other people, right? So I'm not someone that may necessarily need men's health, like, you know, stuff related to men's health, like shelters or counseling in that regard. I don't think I need that. I think any kind of counseling I would need would be in regards to getting, you know, over some social anxiety, because I do deal with social anxiety. I definitely deal with that. Even though I'm like very much an extrovert and people wouldn't believe it, you know, it comes up. So I would need some little bit of coaching that, and I have gotten myself in this self-development course called Landmark, and it's an amazing self-development course. It's like, it's, you know, you pay thousands for shrinks, but like this course is like, I'm not shilling it really. I'm just telling you what it is. But it was like,
give us your affiliate link.
No, there's no affiliate link. It's literally like it literally cost me like what, $600 the first time, and it's a weekend, and it's like 13-14 hour days for the weekend. So for 3 days, like 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you go in, and they pretty much just rework the manner in which you approach life.
Nice.
And yeah, and one of the things that they talk about is meaning. Is the meaning that we give stuff, and how they're tied to stories, and the things that happen to us like create these stories, right? So like there was this one girl, oh my god, this one girl was sexually abused by her father, you know, and her entire life she felt worthless because of that, right? And by the end of this course, she had actually ended up calling her father to tell her that, to either like just let him know that like that he had really impacted her life in a very negative manner, and to which she told him that he denied, and then she was like, it's okay, it's fine, you don't have to like say that you did it, but it's okay. And then she like said, I'm gonna go now, and we're never gonna speak again. And that was it. So she was able to actually confront her father about this thing that she was holding onto herself for the longest time because of this course. And pretty much what they said was that, I came out of the course realizing that life is meaningless. Like life itself is meaningless. The meaning.
It's meaningless.
Well, the meaning, and that isn't like we're just
I know where you're going.
Yeah, exactly. It's like whoever we meet, the stories that we create with them is the meaning that we're providing to our lives.
And it's fucking beautiful, man.
Yeah,
isn't it great?
Yeah, and when you realize that you can provide the meaning, you start
awesome.
you can start injecting good meaning into it. Which is why at some point I need some coaching sometimes in terms of social anxiety, because it bothers me that like I'm able to provide so much meaning or put so much meaning into like the negative shit coming my way that it affects me adversely. Like why the fuck should it? Like why should it bother me that someone is trying to spread some shitty rumor about me when there's thousands of other people that are like, what the fuck? Like that are just so excited to be around me or excited to listen to what I have to say. Why do I do that?
I think it's because the advent of social media, especially for social media generation for millennials, is sort of
everyone's got to lie.
Well, it's not just that. It's also the fact that unlike back in the day where you could kind of you knew you had a very small group of friends, and if you knew and if there was a rumor being started about you, you could easily suss out who was starting that rumor.
Yeah.
You could easily suss it out, and you could easily put a stop to it in one way or another. But now you can't do it anymore. It's that old Winston Churchill saying, a lie gets halfway around the world before the truth has the time to put its pants on. And that's been exacerbated even more so on the personal level with with Twitter and Facebook and stuff.
I got the solution to that. It's all about having the mantra of staying truthful, not just to yourself, but your actions in general.
Yeah, I was just about to say that one of the major problems is you don't know what stories are real. Like, because if you're not actually directly connected with the person or you don't interact with them media has given us that anonymity platform where you can make up whatever story. You see it happening with people all over, social media, where it's like, oh, that story was bullshit, and then it gets proved wrong,
Sam Hyde.
Yeah.
Ethan Ralph killing a girl behind Arby's.
Listen up, buddy. I don't care what you say, Nick Monroe. That man needs to be put to the stake. He's killed so many people now. So many.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you can figure out, I don't know. It is true. You don't know who's who, right? And because I know that you don't know who's who, I don't expect my audience to really feel like they really know me, even though I am very honest about like pretty much everything. Like I'll talk about everything from the kind of porn I searched up yesterday to, I have no problem. Like that shit doesn't bother me. Like I have no problem whatsoever. And I'll talk about that shit because I feel like going forward, like being that open about yourself and your insecurities is the move. But it's like even then, I know that they can't fully trust me because they don't know who I am really. I could be somebody else.
But it lets you show people. I mean, you're consistent, and that's the thing is if you're consistent across the board, the same all over the space, then there's more trust ingrained there. You know what I mean? Versus just some random person. And that's what we run into.
Do you feel like you have to tell everyone what kind of porn you search up, though?
No, I mean, I don't really need to say it unless it's out of context. But if someone asks me, I'd tell them. I tell them no problem. I tell them I have no problem telling them. Absolutely. Why the fuck not? Like the way I'm trying to live my life is that if someone were to have access to my life 24/7, they would have no problem. Like,
oh yeah, okay, I get it. I
saw it.
It's interesting.
Well, that just makes sense because then you have that mentality of like, there's nothing for me to hide, and then my past doesn't come and bite me in the ass. And let's say you know, get to wherever you want to be, and, you know, marketing, or, you know, being a personality and, you know, a vocal social person, then you don't have to worry what skeletons are going to fall out of your closet, you know?
Yeah, no, totally. And that, well, I mean, that's what like kind of irked me about people looking up stuff, because I was like, you know, I was reading some of the stuff that I wrote. Like, there was one tweet. Let me read this out to you. This was fucking hilarious. This one tweet. I want to read this out. It doesn't even sound like the same person. The things that I was saying, I was blown away. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Let me look at my profile real quick here on Twitter, because my profile is still active for me to see.
Oh yeah.
Let me see. Let's go further and further down. Next week's Twitter numbnuts, which is never happening ever again.
No, it makes me sad, man.
Look at this tweet.
Let us send you it in your Discord.
This tweet was from 7th August 2009. All right. And I was thinking about where I was 7th August 2009, and I know that at the time I had a job at a call center in a Sears call center, so people would call in to get like a repairman sent over for their washer or their fridge or something like that, you know, if they bought something with Sears. And I think I remember, because I've always worn skinny jeans. Like, skinny jeans are like my favorite, because I just don't really like baggy jeans. Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing someone look at me weird and kind of whisper to someone. So I then went on this rant over here. I don't fucking get why I went on this rant. All right, so let me just read this out to you. I enjoy tight clothing. You enjoy dicks. I'm happy for you, cocksucker. Be happy for me. Always wish well to your superiors. Like, what? What? And then come back and talk to me, you ugly, filthy whores. Another thing, don't look at my tight jeans and start whispering.
What the hell?
I only hate it because I used to act like them in grade 7. Fucking rats. Don't even deserve to breathe. Reconstruct your faces. What? Like, I really don't like fucking liars that feel they need to fucking lie about everything to compensate for the fact that they are ugly as shit. Like, that was me in like, I don't recognize that person. Don't even.
That's an edgelord. That's an edgelord.
That's a rage lord. What are you talking about?
And those are public tweets. Like, my friends were able to see that. Like, how did I have friends at that time? That's what I'm thinking. Like, how the fuck did I have friends at that time? You know, like, it was just so weird. Look at this one thing. This was November 12th, 2012. One question I can't answer. How do all these fucking idiots get rich? Yes, I'm talking about Donald Trump.
No way.
Yeah. Like, I would never say that, because I obviously know how Donald Trump got rich, because I know that he's not an idiot, and know that he's quite good at whatever he's doing, because he's made it to president of the United States. That's logic, you know. And then you know, there was one tweet that my friend sent me on Facebook. This is hilarious. Real life friend sends this to me, and he says, this is about Mitt Romney. This is so fucking good. I died of I couldn't believe it. All right. I can't wait for Romney to win and bring back slavery. Hashtag election 2012. Hashtag lol. Hashtag lol. Like, who writes hashtag lol? That's only a loser that doesn't know how to use Twitter properly writes hashtag lol. It's one of the most useless hashtags to ever use. The only person I've seen use hashtag lol unironically in 2017 is Tariq Nasheed. I'm not even joking. That guy is shit at social media.
Oh, dude. I want Tariq to take up Ben Shapiro's offer to debate him.
Wait,
did Tariq offer Ben Shapiro, or did
no? Ben Shapiro offered to debate Tariq Nasheed, and I want to see it.
But
I heard you have to pay Tariq to get him to come on, because Black Canada paid him $100 to have him come on.
Oh man, I would love to pay $100 to get Tariq Nasheed on my show. Just interview him.
Dude, Black Kennedy had him on there, and he basically Black Kennedy told him, you know what, I'm paying you with the alt-right's money. You want to talk trash, like, and say we're all alt-right, then you just got paid by the white supremacist money, and you're here talking about it. So thank you for coming on.
So good. Then look, here's what I wrote afterwards, and this was on November 6, 2012. Like, this is my brain in 2012. Like, this is my brain in 2012. Like, I was I'm pretty sure I was borderline. I would look at this is a person I would roast. By the way, I would roast this person today.
Roast yourself. Roast yourself.
Man,
That's how you should confront this whole old tweet thing. Roast yourself.
That's
what you gotta do.
I totally would roast it. Who the fuck says this stuff? Hope all my American followers vote Romney. Who doesn't want a complimentary gun and slave come January?
What is this shit? Well, dude, no, Bunty, you
What is
tweeted
this?
out.
You? Did you vote?
Well, Bunty, I saw a
Did you
picture.
say that?
What
Bunty,
the fuck, man?
Bunty, I saw a picture of you that you tweeted out where you were like super skinny as shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just, I was like, no way, that's not Bunty. That's not Big Bunty.
fatty, though.
No, now Bunty is a Chad. He's not a soy boy. He's a Chad.
Yeah. Well, Chad is so subjective.
Boy, he's a soy boy. Hold up, real quick. I wanna shout out the Canadians real quick. I found my new favorite chip flavor. It's called All Dress. I don't know why the fuck this isn't in America, but Jesus Christ, it's so good.
I don't like all dressed.
What?
Ketchup's
Those are
so good.
Yeah, I don't like ketchup either. I don't
What?
like
what
no,
the fuck?
They're gross. They're
Fake
gross.
Canadian. Bunty is a fake
They're
Canadian,
disgusting.
guys. Hate to break it to you.
I just take real ketchup and put them on my
If
chips.
you-
I'm kidding. I don't do that.
if-
It's disgusting too.
Sriracha, dude. Sriracha.
I actually know someone that would have sriracha and what would she have? She would have sriracha and I think Pringles. I think.
That's a fucking badass that I respect.
Oh no, it's not someone. It was Sear. Sear likes sriracha and something. He would take sriracha with something else. Like I don't remember what it was, but I'll ask him. He did it during one of our Skype calls at the very beginning when we started talking. Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
I had a buddy in basic who he would put Frank's Red Hot all over his pizza and then just like take an entire thing of ranch, like one of those little packets, and he would just squeeze it all over.
Ugh.
I was like, oh, what the fuck,
That's
this
so gross.
nasty.
Oh Jesus.
So, Politipod, you want to let the new viewers know what we're doing this for?
I don't even know how many viewers we have right now. I went to go get milk and
23.
shit from my parents. 23. Holy shit. Okay. Well, I don't have the list in front of me. So Casey, you do it. This is your job. Co-host, go.
God damn it. So, hey guys, we're just doing this stream to help out for men's health, both mental and physical. So down in the links, you'll see one for PTSD awareness for returning veterans, the majority of whom are men. So this kind of fits into our usual stick, and that's always going to be Mission 22. They're really good at their deal. The next is the Manitoba Men's Health Center. Leaf probably knows more about that than I do. And then
I'll explain it again.
Yep.
It helps men who are struggling with drug addictions. It also helps men find jobs, helps men who are currently in an abusive partnership, and it also helps. Yeah, it doesn't just help men; it helps teenagers too, 16 and up. So it is a very good program. I've donated money to it in the past. I've fundraised over $1,000 for it, and they're very appreciative. They're always looking for donations, especially towels and stuff like that. That's what they really like.
Yep. And then the other is the Movember Foundation, and it's there to tackle.
Bunty got on that one.
Yeah, they're already on that. Yeah, good. They're there to just do general work, which is good. And then we have another men's shelter in Charlotte, the Charlotte's Men's Center. If you guys want to donate, the links are in the description below. We very much appreciate it. It's always good to give back to these guys that really need help.
And with Movember, it's their main focus is prostate cancer, since it's not as recognized as breast cancer, even though just as many men die from it. So they're focusing on that side, trying to raise money for prostate cancer and prostate cancer screenings and stuff.
I'm not looking forward to the good old when I get old and have to get my prostate checked every on a more regular basis.
I'm about 2 years away from my first check, man. So I'm not looking for that either. So
Hey, it's not a picnic for the guy doing it either.
well, no,
It's
not.
not.
But
I
still.
bet they love it. I bet they love it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I gotta get my Medicare set up because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get it done when I'm 30, just to see what's going on.
Yeah. Hey, smart.
Just take care of it.
Well, if you
beforehand.
did a jump on, if you get a jump kind of issue like prostate cancer, you're more likely to survive, and if they can get it out,
Yeah, totally. I don't want to end up in some kind of fucked up situation. The other thing is that I've been really trying to focus a little bit more on my health. Honestly, I know I said I want to apply. Like the only reason why I'm trying, I want to appeal this fucking Twitter shit is because people want me back, and there's like been a general outcry for like the fact that I was suspended, especially the circumstances.
People have been blowing up Twitter's mentions, Jack's mentions, Twitter support's mentions. Like
They fucking love you,
fucking
hombre.
lot.
And
That's so chill, really chill. The only reason I'm doing it is because of that, and ultimately, if I don't get it back, the third after the third appeal, I'll be fine with it because I'd rather just take the time that I would have spent, on Twitter, all the energy that I spent on Twitter, and just refocus it on myself and refocus it on chilling and bettering my health. No, bettering my health for real because I want to be ripped. I want to be like big by the time
by the end of 2018.
By the time VidCon 2018 rolls around, I want to be pretty wide.
You coming to Kilroy?
Yeah, I've been invited. I'm supposedly a speaker there. I just don't know.
Hombre.
I just haven't been able to. What do you call it? I just haven't been able to actually communicate with anyone, which is unfortunate. Like no one. Don't have any communication with anyone.
Are you doing Andy's panel?
I have no idea what panel I'm doing. I need to get in touch with Base Mama.
I can get you in touch with her.
Well,
Have unapologetic leaf. Shit. I can just I have her number on my phone and shit. But I don't know if I should give it in chat here.
No, you shouldn't give it in chat. You shouldn't give it in chat. If
clear it up with her first, and then send it to Bunty.
Or just ask her to shoot me an email at my busy email, which is namaste@buntyking.com.
Yeah, I'm just gonna send her a note saying that you want to get in touch, but since Twitter boned you, it's kind of hard. Do that now. Yeah, people are upset because you put so much of your damn heart into the thing.
My mentions. I had to fucking mute that fucking tweet. I love you, Bunty, but it was my phone was going off so much. Well, I shared your message. You're in the Discord. I screen capped it, and I stole your screen cap of it. It's Twitter telling you that your account was permanently suspended, and I posted it on Twitter, and I tagged a bunch of people that I know knew you. I was like, whatever, I don't care if you steal these screenshots, just get the word out, and people are so pissed. Man.
Yeah, and then that Matt Novak loser was like, and I was like, what the fuck? I've never even spoken to that guy. I think maybe I quote-tweeted him once because he said something dumb. But I never was really insulting to him. I think I called him
Matt Myers?
Well, that guy I've never spoken to. I don't even know who I just know that there's hashtag Myers Twitter is this thing, but I don't even know what that's about.
He's something
It's
else.
the best meme.
He's a titty tickler.
He's a legit titty tickler, that guy?
Yes, Matt Myers, yes.
Wow.
He's a titty tickler who came out as a furry and gay in order to deflect the accusation.
Wow.
He pulled a Kevin Spacey.
But there was a
legit
legit accusation on him?
Yeah, there were multiple. Yeah. He's one of the Vice guys who got caught up.
He was a Vice guy?
Yeah, Myers. I think Myers. I did a whole video on the cat. He also did. He had another publication he wrote for too.
Really?
Yeah.
And now he's just a furry laughingstock.
He's a meme, a living meme, and
gay furry now.
He's just there for.
Oh, so that it's crazy. It's crazy. How do you come back from that? It's crazy. It's interesting. I was actually on Facebook, and because I liked George Takei back in the day, when I was I'm talking about when I had Facebook in 2012 Bunty, because I have a bunch of likes there from fucking all sorts of dumb shit. I want to go through it actually, so I don't see that cancer in my feed anymore. But what was I going to say? George Takei is still posting, and he's getting crazy amounts of shares. He's getting millions of impressions on Facebook, and the comments, I look at it, no one's calling him out. Everyone's kind of just going along with it. They're going along with it. They don't care.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's curated to hell and back. That's what it is.
It's so weird. Like just looking at George Takei's page, he's still running sponsored stuff. You know, he's not lost anything. So like, what are these accusations even worth? What are they worth?
Oh, that's hilarious.
He denied
It
the
depends.
indictment. I think everybody just believed him.
Oh yeah, there's one of my tweets.
Actually used your tweets in my video, Nick. Guy that we were talking about, the same kind of guy who basically came out as for 15 years, but only after he got his accusation hit him. And there's this stuff all over Google about this cat.
Oh yeah, I remember this tweet. I made it in kind of a hurry.
Like, why?
Yeah, but
It is so suspect to see people sharing this kind of shit. Sharing like George Takei, like linking a Distractify article. Like, what the fuck is Distractify?
Well, yeah.
What is that? Like, what a
He's good at optics, and he's good at getting people to forget the whole. What?
All
Sorry.
these links like Distractify. Fuck, what's the other ones? Diply. Those are how people are making good fucking money. Like I know a dude. He quit his fucking job in real life to do this internet stuff full time, and he posts Diply links. He makes thousands of fucking dollars a day. Like he makes more in a fucking day than I can in a week at my job.
it's the clickbait shit where it's like, click next, and every click is an impression, and that thing is all on the one page. It's spread out to multiple pages. It's screenshots,
And
or
you
it's
can
like
make
a gallery.
I'm
And
not gonna lie. I used to do this shit before my pages,
Yeah.
before people got really greedy and started screwing everybody over and stealing pages from each other. I was making $800 a week off clickbait shit. Like I use this site called MyLikes, which I can't use anymore because I don't have a verified page, but people would click that shit. You'd have content related to whatever. Say you ran a Disney page, you find a bunch of Disney links, post those, and you could recycle them, and you'd make a lot of money. A lot.
It's breaking my heart hearing all this. I don't like clickbait, and I never will. I just like telling the truth.
Yeah. I think it's
the
interesting.
money though, you can make good money being an advertiser.
It's
essentially what you're doing.
It's empty. It's empty though, and it gives you no fulfillment, and that's what's important if you want to make.
I
use
don't
of
know,
your
man.
time.
I mean, in total, I made $2,000 off doing that stuff. I kind of feel happy with that.
No, I think it's cool.
probably make.
I think it's cool. I mean, so I feel like you can definitely share stuff that you care about when make money off it. Just like I was trying to do with Twitter, but Twitter has terrible click-through rate. So advertisers don't really focus on that, They really don't. If you look at the amount of engagement like some of these big articles get, right? Twitter headlines, like copy for Twitter posts is so interesting because like you can, like I see them do it all the time. I see companies like Vox do it. I see companies like Salon do it. They word it in such a way that they know it's going to outrage people, and they know that they're going to get screenshotted and then shared within their groups. It happens all the time. It's like, it's so interesting.
Fucking cat.
That's a really cute cat. I love how
I'm so sorry. She's being needy.
Hey,
It's really
Bunty, I got a hold of Base Mama, and she's gonna email you. I assume whatever fucking email is here in this Google Hangout
Yeah,
chat.
it's not Buntyking. It's Buntyking. King.
I'll tell her that.
Yeah, she knows.
Okay.
I think she knows.
Buntyking.com. Okay. Good. Okay, so yeah, that's settled.
There we go. Yay!
Taking care of business in the middle of a live stream, I guess.
Sorry, I suck at life. I'm sorry.
At least you admit it, Pod. At least.
Yeah,
you
Well, I
admit
got
it.
called. My grandmother just called me. Sorry.
Oh, Graham called you?
Yeah, Graham called me, so I had to answer that.
I hope you were nice and didn't tell her to fuck off or anything.
Actually, no, I did the exact opposite. Listen here, Grammy. If you don't stop, I'm gonna come down there. I'm gonna choke slam you to hell, all the way down the hill. I'm gonna
go stone cold on your ass.
I'm gonna give you the stunner, Grammy.
Hope you fucking hug your grandmother hard, and you tell her you love her.
I'll give her a hug or a bear hug, and then she'll suffocate to death, maybe. That's so messed up. I shouldn't say that about my grandma. I love my grandma.
You gotta live a life of love, man. You gotta just let it come out of every last goddamn pore you got. That's how you live.
This is true. All right, so what have I missed since I've been doing my
That's bullshit.
just bullshitting? Have we had any other donations?
Fuck.
I don't
Let's talk about more men stuff.
Mm.
So, Bunty, define what a man is.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, according to me, it's a guy.
What makes a good man?
What makes a good man? A good man is, in my opinion, respectful of those around him. He holds doors open for women, children, and the elderly. Pretty much anyone. He just holds the door open when he's going in. He holds it up open for just a little bit longer so that someone can go ahead and grab it. I think that a good man is someone who, if they have kids, they spend time with their kids, and they, just are attentive to their needs. And also, I guess, also plays with his kids in the sense that fucking does activities like fucking sports and shit like that. Like that's something I really missed as a kid, and I really want to do that for my kids. I want to be able to I want to play catch with my son.
I was just gonna say play catch in the backyard, man.
Yeah, I really want to do that, and I think my dad did that with me maybe a couple of times, but like it wasn't never a recurring thing. Like it wasn't never something that I would look forward to, because my dad was never really a sporty type, and he never really put me in sports. But another thing I really want to do is I want to put my kids in sports. So I think like getting them involved in things, getting them injected into the community is really important. I think that it's like a man's role to do, or at least the parents' role to do. But another thing is, I just, according to me, because I'm a heterosexual male, like being a really good husband, being attentive to your wife's needs, both like emotionally and intellectually and sexually, like those kind of things are all needed, and not being afraid to listen to your wife and like do something about it. Like I think that it's crazy. Like I've heard so many stories of like men who don't want to go down on their women, and it's like, and I'm just like, you're insane. You're insane that you're not like that is arrest. That's how your wife leaves you. I got into a relationship with a girl last year who lied to me and pretty much told me that she was single, but she was actually she had a boyfriend the whole time. She lived in Toronto, and she told me that he would never meet her needs sexually, and so pretty much what happened is that she started cheating on him, and she tried to communicate with him before, but he wouldn't listen. He wouldn't go down on her. He wouldn't really do anything for her. She didn't like the way he touched her. Apparently, that's what she said. I don't know, but so that happened. So I think that in order to be a successful man, according to my standards, if you have to be attentive to your partner's needs, and if you do have kids with them, you have to be attentive to their needs, and you have to kind of set your life aside in a way for them.
Be careful about sports.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
The thing for like me in that situation was my dad worked a lot. Like he was the breadwinner, traditional in that way. My mom worked, but she had like a daycare at home. He didn't get to come to a lot of my sporting events and other things with, working, a 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. job. So I want to set myself up, have a good enough career where I can work, either 9 to 5.
Yep.
Be there for them when they have their, events and other stuff. And like I said to the stream earlier, I'm engaged now, and I in my mind, it's my needs come second to my fiance's, and that's not me being a cuck or anything like that. That's just me trying to be, in the sense of, making sure she has what she needs and what she wants, even though she works her ass off too and has her degree and everything as well. But
yeah,
like,
I think the difference with you is that, like, I'm pretty sure I'm not. Listen, I don't know you super well, but I would assume that if your fiance wasn't meeting your needs, then you wouldn't be her fiance. Like, that's the thing, right? So you could be like, I would totally 100% put my needs second to that of my girlfriend's, but my girlfriend better be the kind of woman who would put my needs second to hers. It's got to be that exchange. There has to be that exchange, and at the same time, like, you should be able to kind of you should be able to look out for yourself. And I think that should be an automatic thing. I think that most people who are in successful relationships, or most people who tend to be making the right decisions for themselves, tend to always be think their life is almost on automatic. Like, they kind of know what's going on. They know the direction they're going in, so they're just like not too worried about their problems, because they know they're going to get to them eventually. They take things one step at a time.
And it's that whole partnership mentality. Like, I know that if she needs anything, she has me, and if I need anything, I have her. And that's how I want to be for kids in the future, like my kids, because I don't want to be that dad who's, making the money but is not around, even though I want to be in everything, but I'm working my ass off way too much, because I think there's got to be that happy medium of work-life balance.
It's all about the electricity, man. You found the right lady when you got the electricity going on, and everything just kind of falls into place itself.
Can I give a tip to dudes out there? If you're engaged to a chick, don't fucking go to other females and say the engagement doesn't mean anything, or it doesn't matter much. Yeah, don't do that.
Ruh-roh, did something happen?
Getting engaged to someone, it better fucking mean something. I guess I'm speaking from a personal experience. I'm not gonna name
heads
names.
up, she's not talking about me. She is not talking about me.
No, God, no. It's someone else. I'm just saying, if you're engaged to a pretty lady, and you don't be a sneaky little shit and talk to other girls, and say, oh, I love you to other girls. The engagement doesn't mean anything. Like, no. If you're
I think I know who you're talking
someone,
about.
It better mean something. It better mean something.
I think I know who she's talking about.
How shitty. That's such a shitty thing. Like, if you're going to ask someone to marry you, you better you have to have feelings for them, genuine feelings. They can't just be like a placeholder. Like, what?
I'm so sorry. Whatever happened to you? Yo.
I'm not gonna be a cunt and drag any of these people's names through the mud. But just a tip for other dudes who are maybe getting married because they feel lonely and they need someone, and they don't necessarily like the chick, but they're just settling. It's an important decision.
We had
a
guy who was a trainer over at Geek Squad with us, and he was sexually harassing women, and he was married. His wife worked there with us, and he was over here sexually harassing other girls, trainees of all people. He was sexually harassing them and stuff, and he got shit canned, of course. But that's just one of those things. It's you don't do that, and especially whenever they're around all the time, dude. That's even worse.
Just don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick in life, and then everything's okay. It's that simple. You just don't be a douche, and then everything just kind of is okay, and that's how it works.
Look, I think people could do some really fucking shitty things and not be entirely bad people. Okay, some people are just, they do fucking really stupid shit and regret it later on in life. Just try not to do shitty things, because it can definitely come and bite you in the ass, and nobody wants that.
I just think if people get engaged, they have to fucking mean it. I mean,
they do have to mean it.
Worthwhile.
They do.
Well, that's the thing anymore. Is marriage doesn't mean anything to anyone. I think there's not. I think people we've taken marriage to a step to where it's not incentivized for anyone. It's just like, oh, I'm just doing this to get a tax write-off. I'm just doing this because I don't want to be lonely. I just, it's not about love anymore.
To, like, I don't know,
Love.
loyalty, like, and monogamy, and like, I don't know, like, I've literally been cheated on in like every relationship I've ever been in, except one, and I just like I like it's getting to the point where like loyalty is like the most important thing. Like I don't care about anything else. Like find someone who's loyal. Girls too. Girls, you need to be loyal to your fucking husbands and loyal to your boyfriends and not be cheating whores. Like there's to me like I know you. We're talking about a girl who was cheating on her boyfriend before Bunty, but I don't think there's an excuse. If your partner's not satisfying you, fucking dump them. Don't cheat.
No, I agree. No, I agree. She really listen. She fucked over that guy, and she also fucked me over. There's plenty of times where I thought, you know what, I was gonna find out like who he was to just kind of like message him and be like, listen, this is what happened. But at the same time, like I definitely pussied out of that because I just didn't want to. I didn't want to fuck his life up. I didn't want to like be that guy to be like, yo. I wouldn't want that to happen to me.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, it was like really
definitely.
Yeah, and for me it was just like I didn't know him enough to really like, and it sounds so bad. I didn't know him enough to really I actually despised him. I thought because I saw him as an enemy. I was like, why is he even in your life? Like, why am I not the only one that's there for you? It would make me feel so shit. That was really brutal. That's something I've been struggling with for so long. So like, anytime any kind of bullshit has happened, that has also come in tow, and that's also weighed me down even more. So any kind of bad things that happened to me recently or any in my life, that's the anchor. That like it just pulls me down a little bit further. It's like, oh, and
the baggage.
Oh, dude, I have so much baggage right now. Like, and I that's why I like completely just kind of backed off the whole dating scene. I'm not into it right now. I went on a date with a girl, and right away I wasn't excited about her, and so I immediately ended it because I was like, I'm not excited about it. And she's been routinely asking me to come and cuddle with her, which is pretty much code for fucking sex. I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to do that at all.
I get
block her number.
What? Yeah, no, I'm not gonna block her number. I am super tired. I'm very tired. I'm also getting up early tomorrow. I'm also getting up early tomorrow because at 10 a.m. I'm gonna be doing a news stream in the morning.
Oh, you decided to do that?
Oh yeah, I have to do that. I think it's gonna be so much fun.
Nice. I'll be looking for it in the morning for my workout.
Show your stream. What do you got going on tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow I've got this new series called Breakfast with Bunty. It's gonna happen Monday to Fridays, and essentially I'm gonna open up a bunch of news tabs, and I'm gonna like talk to the chat, and we're just gonna look through the news and just laugh at shit, laugh at all the insanity going on in the world together, and then I'm streaming with Baked Alaska at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Oh man, Baked Alaska! I got a chance to talk to them a while back.
And
ages ago, but
hey, babe,
he's a nice guy.
I wish he would talk to me. R.I.P.
Well, yeah. So he he was texting me when the whole thing happened, and like when he got suspended, hard because
who the hell suspended him?
I don't know. It sucks that he got suspended. I don't think anyone should really get suspended, because I don't think that he was a bad guy. Like I said, I talked to him. We would have some conversations, and it just seemed like he was just like a silly dude, a little oafish at times. And I think that, he kind of like he had a major swing of the pendulum because he was working at BuzzFeed, like super, super left BuzzFeed. Right. And then he goes to the right. So he's like on the right side, but I don't think he was ever a racist. He just kind of like was like, fuck these guys, fuck political correctness. This is insane. Like you guys are nuts. Right. And then he gets wrapped up in these dudes, and he was just telling me, he was like, fucking guys, man, these racists, they're like so annoying. They're like annoyed. Anytime I hang out with a black person, they're freaking out. And it's like, oh, it's like, I get that. I'm like, it is annoying. Like, who are these loud ass losers that have a problem with fucking black people? Like, who are they?
And, I get it. He's just on his own journey, man. That's what it is. It's everyone's on their own pilgrimage.
They are all on their own pilgrimage. We're all on a pilgrimage. It's true. We all are, for sure. And it's only mass communication is making that even more apparent that everyone is on a journey. Everyone's on a journey to find themselves, and some people are in this journey get caught up and feel like
The little things.
Well, they get caught up in little things, and they also get caught up in this idea that maybe they're fucking leaders, they're super leaders, and they have all the answers when nobody really has all the answers, because you can't. It's impossible. It's impossible to have all the answers.
The joy of mass communication is we can all learn from each other, man. That's the great part.
Well, that's the thing. You can all learn from each other, and the other thing is that you end up realizing that you don't want to hurt each other. Like, I don't think that there's a single person that I've met that I really truly would wish any kind of like ill will upon. You know, I mean, yeah, I said I wanted to fucking fight some folks because but I really just wanted to set them straight. That's the only time I've ever really felt that. But like, that's even rare. That's so rare. But like, I would never want them to be hurt to the point where they like suffered extreme harm. You know, I don't want that for anyone. And I feel like that attitude needs to be the number one thing for everyone. Everyone should be like, I don't want anyone to die. That's it. Like, that's really it. I don't want anyone to die for my personal survival. Like, I want to avoid that at all costs.
I tried having that mindset and just going out and talking to people, and sometimes it works. I mean, it's how I stay impartial. I keep that open mind, you know, with everyone. I try to, even people I disagree with. But some people are just dicks. People are just dicks sometimes, and that sucks. And it sucks that I have to say that is part of the reality of life, but yeah, it is. And that's the type of person that suspended you. The dick.
Yeah. The dick. The dudes that just are there to kind of like throw the wrench in. It's strange because that guy, you know, that got me suspended, I wonder whose life he's going to really change. I mean, if he does do it for one person, that's great, you know, but like, I wonder what his aspirations are.
Maybe he's not happy with his life, so he takes his anger out on other people.
That's very possible. Yeah.
It gets him erect to change and fight the fascist regime.
Well, he probably just thinks that, I mean, takes one conversation that you had directed at him and thinks that's who you are or whatever when you said nothing wrong. And then you have him trying to, you know, get people to ban you and other stuff. And it's one of those things where it's kind of ridiculous because he's not helping feminism by getting a nice person who is very middle ground and considerate of humans banned. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
there's people like I didn't even know knew Bunty that were like retweeting that shit and be like, "What? Bunty's the nicest person on the planet." I was like, "Who the heck is this person?" And they'd be like a verified account.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Who is this?" Like, I've never heard of them. I didn't even know they knew who Bunty was. Like, I didn't realize. Like, I mean, I knew Bunty was well known, but I didn't realize just how many people knew him until he got suspended from Twitter and like how big of an impact he had. It was actually pretty interesting to see, like to watch.
It's a sign.
Like,
it's a sign. If it can happen to Bunty, it can happen to anybody, and that's what people are saying.
That's what people.
Because,
that's what people were saying. They're like, one dude, I don't remember his name. He was like, if Bunty's King is getting suspended, I'm kind of worried.
I speaketh the truth, and this is what's happening.
Yeah, and now people are like, no, I'm just listening. I'm listening, and now people are like go to Gab, and I'm just like, oh, I hate the UX on Gab. I really don't like it.
We were talking about Gab earlier.
Oh yeah, don't get them started.
Yeah, and then
he already knows I was on the stream talking shit about Gab yesterday.
Yeah, and like,
well, I think your Discord plan is a great one, and being interactive there, and you know, maybe more in the comments on YouTube and stuff will give you an interaction with the people who follow your platform. You know,
Discord has less of a chance of fucking getting nuked, unless you're like a fucking like literally running like a neo-Nazi Discord server. Then that's like debatable.
I'm also partnered with Discord, and the other thing is that, like, you know, this was from my live streaming days. I'm partnered. I'm totally partnered with them. So essentially, and I got VIP channels. I don't have any limitations on how many people I can have. I can have like chats loaded full of fucking people. So nice. I'm really trying to like, get it. I'm really trying to get it turned. Yeah. I'm trying to get it turned into something really, really real and legit here. And like,
I will continue to shill your Discord then. What really sucks though is a lot of people are wanting to join, but the verification channel is gone, and that was the link I had sent out. So a lot of people are clicking on a link that doesn't work anymore, and I'm like, "Where's the link? Where's the link? I need a new link because this one's expired." I was like,
Just
"Damn
general.
it!"
Just general. Just give the general
Yeah,
one.
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab the one for general and send it out and be like, "Yo, you need to click on this link because there's been some changes with the channels and such, and hopefully the people who are bugging me."
Someone just
will
asked
see.
me. Someone just asked me what kind of porn I watch in Discord.
No,
Do you guys want to know the answer to that?
I might as well.
I watch. I actually search up MILFs a lot. MILFs, matures. Sometimes the occasional really hot granny, but that's about it.
Mm.
But that's pretty much it. Like yeah, so like that. Heather Brooke deep throat vids, like so those kind of stuff. But like
I'm not gonna lie, I've never really understood porn. Like I tried watching it once, and the dude in the video was like, "Don't laugh at my small penis," and after that, I'm just like, "Fucking what is this?"
I don't know what porn you were watching, but yeah, no, I
I was
don't laugh at my
curious.
small penis. That I've never heard that.
I clicked on the first video that showed
No,
up,
don't do
line.
it.
and
No.
the dude was like, "Don't laugh at my small penis." So obviously, I burst out fucking laughing because that was the funniest thing I've ever heard.
No, don't do it.
And after that, it's just like weird. It's weird to me.
But
The
in
concept
all
of watching other people have sex is just weird.
yeah, well, in all honesty, I'm trying to avoid it now. You know, I'm really trying to like just kind of like purify myself from that. Even though I am working in I do work with a porn company to host their podcast. All the models I meet, I don't watch their stuff. I just talk to them as they are, like human beings, and like that's what I'm there to just humanize them and kind of give them something to talk about.
Here's the thing with Mercedes. Mercedes Carrera follows me, and she's big on vet issues. And I've talked to her. I can't watch porn with her in it now. I can't. I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I don't like talking to people I know and just like watch them have sex. It's just weird.
Oh yeah, totally. There was like there's a bunch of porn stars that followed me that I would talk to, and I just would not do any of that shit with, you know, like completely.
There's actually there's a girl that went to a casting couch that went to my high school, and it was just the most awkward thing ever whenever that came out, because we got like a significantly small town, so everybody knew this girl, and she was on here on Facebook, and she was preaching about like I don't know if anyone's noticed it, but usually like the evangelical types who are always talking about people should save themselves for sex and stuff like that are always the ones that end up doing stuff like porn and stuff. So she started tweeting it, like messaging that stuff out on Facebook, and then someone pulled up this link and sent it to her, and she said, "Oh God, I'm so sorry. I just don't know what happened." It's like, it's fine, dude. It's like a quick way to make money, but it's kind of weird, especially whenever your parents and everybody in town knows that you're the resident porn star now.
I know, right? And
Wasn't that there a fucking porn star where her parents are like her fucking managers or some shit? Like I remember seeing an article.
Listen, I know a girl, right? And this is a girl who is a friend of mine. Worked with my like super long term girlfriend, and this girl, her parents were in the porn industry. Like this woman, I'm not gonna say her name. This porn star is supposedly the she was like the first internet porn star, one of the first internet porn stars. She had like a website back in like when the internet was literally first available, you know, like right away.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So she had it going on there, and sometimes like her daughter, all right, would actually like welcome the people to come over and have sex with her mom. It's like really screwed up. It was. I'm sure.
So
Yeah,
fucking awkward. Like,
yeah, it is very awkward, and I don't think that it had she has got a good relationship with her mom, but like it just like had a little bit of a. I think I can only imagine that it fucked with her mind afterwards. You know, like that's just insane. Like insane. I would.
Was the dad in the picture?
Yeah, the dad was the dad was her manager. The dad was the porn star's manager. Yeah,
no, because I was wondering, because it's like these random dudes are coming over to their house, and
he was totally.
Is one of them her dad, or is the dad actually in the picture?
He was legit. He was legitimate, like in the literal sense of the word, a cuck. You know, like that's what he was. Yeah, no, he would watch guys like screw her and stuff like that, like, and it was so like it just everybody knew she was the porn star in the town, right? And like, and that's a question that we ask a lot now. question very, very often. Like what do you like it's like the question we ask these porn stars is like, what are your parents, what do your friends think, like what is like how did you come up, like we don't say what do your friends think because that's actually a negatively charged question, but we ask how did you finally like break it to your friends that like this is what's happening, like are you cool with that, like, and a lot of them are like, yeah, it's just the way it is, don't really care, it's just how it's happening.
I think that's how it is. I mean,
I'm friends with a girl who recently got into porn, and it's just like whatever. Like, she started off as a suicide girl, and like it slowly went towards porn, and I'm just like, well, not a big deal. She's a really sweet girl. She's a nice girl, and like I don't take any issue with it. I mean,
well, and I think the thing is also it's like it's become so like not taboo anymore.
Normal.
Yeah. I mean, anyone could be a porn star. You have websites that you could literally upload your own shit to. With whether you have a small dick or a big dick, you can upload whatever you want, wherever you want. It's literally the thing. Like,
yeah.
Now, like, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. To be honest,
it's a YouTube for porn. What's the problem?
Well,
creators are creators, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I applaud their endeavors on making money. Well, no. Here's my problem with it. I don't have a problem with people doing what they want. I just see the effects of it. That's
how we got the Weinstein shit. Everyone's doing whatever they want.
Exactly.
That's how you get the Weinstein shit.
We're talking about porn, not fucking grabbing some tits.
No, you're right. Well, yeah, there's but what I'm talking about in general is openness of sexuality. I think me and Nick are going on the same place with it, but I just find that whenever we have a race of people that have like a 74% single motherhood rate for the entirety of their community and stuff like that, and it's been steadily growing since and it's kind of correlating with the sexual openness that came about during the 60s and now is prevalent today. You kind of see the rates going up side by side, and one tends to wonder if it's causing these effects.
Potentially, but you look at like Europe, and they've been open sexually forever, and they're not running into the same issues as the States.
Well, that's true. That is true.
Maybe it's just something to do with some other system in place versus because you have Europe, which is very sexual and very open-eyed about it, and they're okay with it. It's culturally ingrained in them. But then you have people who are, it's still very taboo in the sense of like a woman's sexuality and other things. And then you have, them running into these issues you're speaking of. Maybe if, we were a little more open-minded like Europe, or we didn't have things like, crazy thought like mooches on the welfare system and other things making money, it might shift a little away from what you're talking about.
No, I agree. I agree with that too. I don't think it's the sole cause. Certainly not. I think it'd be silly for anyone to say that openness of sexuality is the sole cause for single motherhood rates in the Black community, especially whenever you look at the war on drugs and, as you said, the openness of people to get welfare in the States. I do think it's a compounding factor on a system that's already had a lot of problems with it. I think it adds on to it. It's got it's like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Mm-hmm.
This stream has been almost going on for 3 hours now. Jesus Christ.
Rip. Well, I guess do we have any questions from the chat that we want to answer before? I guess we'll end up killing it here in a little bit. I'm sure everyone else has other things to do.
I could talk forever. I mean, I'm just gonna go back to writing after this. I'm like 40,000 words into my Weinstein.
I don't even fucking know how long it's been since I last slept.
Oh my God,
you need to get some sleep for sure.
Leaf needs sleep.
Sleep is for the no. I'm actually running on like 2 cups of coffee.
I'll tell you what, Nick. I would actually like very much to have you back on here for an interview. I do interview series. Bunty's been on it already, but if you want to come on and do an interview, that'd be super.
Slide into my DMs. We'll talk.
Yes.
Yeah, Nick.
Slide into his
DMs. Nick, I'd love to interview you sometime too, man.
Really?
Yeah,
we'll make it friends here.
Yeah, for sure, man.
That's what the Politipod's all about, man. It's about openness of ideas and friendship. That's
I'll show my email here in the Google Hangout chat so you all can contact me. The email in my Twitter bio is a spam trap, and you could contact it, but it's really more for just open tips and spam. I get so much spam inside that email.
Rip.
It's like a whorehouse.
I think mine as well.
If you poke me on the emails, I tend to respond reliably.
Just if you can do me a favor, can you just shoot me an email to the one who, and I'll just remember to like reply to you and like just send you a nice little nice little invitation.
I feel good. I made a bunch of new friends tonight, and that's nice. Friendship is nice.
Yay! I appreciate all of you guys. You guys are so good people. You guys are good boys.
Yeah, and anyone who did donate, we do appreciate you guys for doing that. For
definitely.
These
You
four
should
amazing
tell
causes.
us in chat though if you donated, because we do like to see you guys telling us how much you donated and which one you donated to, so you can get a shout out.
So far, we only had one person, but so 25 Canadian bucks to a Canadian causes. A littlest amount can go real far away, you know.
Yep.
Hey.
Unless
helps.
Unless you're like dealing with Cat Black, then it's she's not a nice person. When I was first raising money, when I first fundraised money for the men's shelter here, she fucking made fun of it. She sat there and was like, "Oh, it's just for men to go play their video games," and I was so pissed off.
Really?
I was like, "How fucking dare you sit there and claim you're fighting for equality and fucking then just shit all over a men's emergency shelter." After I went off on her, she kind of backed off a bit and she's like, "Oh shit." Like, she didn't think I'd respond to her, but I did. I was under my page so she wouldn't fucking find my account because I don't trust her or her followers. But no, after I hashed it out with her through my page and her page, she kind of like fucking was like, took a big back step there, and she was like, "Oh, so it actually is helping men." I was like, "Yeah."
And some charities are shit too. I mean, you always got to do your research before you donate to a charity, because sometimes they cut the donation proceedings, so only a percentage of it goes to one place, and actually does good.
Went down to this place myself.
Good.
I took a fucking bus or two there, and I made sure it was like a legitimate thing, obviously, before I handed in my donation. Like I said earlier, I met with the director. She's such a sweet lady. She got so much shit by her former co-workers when she first wanted to open up this shelter for men, but I'm so glad she did it. Like it's such a great idea.
What the hell did people say?
The donations are really, really helpful. Well, they were essentially what they were doing, what like radical feminists were doing to me. They think they see it as a joke. They don't think men need a shelter. They were like really cruel to her. They saw it as something that wouldn't do well, and it's been very, very helpful. And I want to do more. Like she gave me her card actually, and said if I ever wanted to do something else to call her and she'd help out. And I want to do more. Like I want to grab like a bunch of all the like stuff they need, like towels and razors and whatnot, like anything they need to help out, like instead of just money, just to try to like do something for the community instead of being like these people on the internet who complain about all this shit but never do anything about it.
Action matters. It's all about starting with the action, and it doesn't matter what gender is involved. And that's where the conversation should start, around the actions themselves, and not about it being a men's thing and a women's thing. But help is help. And men need help just as much as women do. We're all on the same playing field here.
Help the women's shelter because they're tied together. The here in Manitoba, they're tied together. The women's shelter and the men's shelter. If you want to contact the men's shelter people, you can go to the women's shelter people because they're both running the same places. And
Well, see, and that's the supposed myth about here in the States is that they are both. male and female, but that's not actually the case. You know, like they say men can
No,
go to the
it's
women's
different
shelter,
here.
but they
It's they're
can't.
still separate buildings, but they're run by the same people. So they're
Oh,
tied together. If you want to, the men's shelter, okay, the Rel Center is what it's called. If you want to make a donation or anything to the men's shelter in Manitoba, you have to go to the Laurel Center to do it, and that the Laurel Center is the women's center, but you are still making the donation to the men's shelter because you have to write it on your check or whatever, and it will go there, and it's really great. I like helping people, and I wish I wasn't so socially fucking retarded and I could speak in front of a board of people and explain why I want to do what I do, but I fucking want to fucking kill myself every time.
Nice.
I try.
Well, guys and girls, it's been fantastic having everybody on here tonight. I think we did a great thing for, men's health tonight. I think anyone else who's doing a stream right now, I think everybody's doing a great thing right now for men's health. It's an important issue. It's a growing issue, and I think everyone needs to realize that and not make such a stigma around it. Health is health, mental, physical, or otherwise. But I do want to thank Leaf for putting everybody here together and getting everything set up here. I want to thank Revenge of the Sith, Nick Monroe, my co-host Casey Dennison, my man's here, Buntyking, and also, who could forget, AGluck. And I do want to thank everybody who donated. It looks like right now we only have one person who I can notice donated, but there's probably some others, I would hope. It could be like the last time we had a stream and everyone donated afterwards. But I do want to thank Casca52 for donating $25 to the Manitoba Men's Health Center. It's a great thing, great cause, and
Much appreciated.
Much appreciated, definitely.
Thank you.
Everybody, yeah, no problem. I want to thank everybody for coming on here tonight, and you all have a great rest of your Sunday, and have a lot of turkey on Thanksgiving.